Now, I don't know to necessarily say I disagree with you, but I don't think of Betty White as a stand-up comedian. Did she ever do stand-up?
Now, Betty White was a comedian for more or less.
She did. She was a comedic actor. I mean, she was on. Can you hear me? You're muted if you didn't know it.
Oh, I am muted. But you still were able to hear me.
Well, previously, and then you just went silent. Yeah, Betty White's a comedic actor. So she was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and she was on. She was on Golden Girls, and she was on Hot in Cleveland, but she wasn't like she never toured.
No, so the thing about Betty White is that he knew how to make you laugh. I would say like that. It wasn't from the movies. It was like from talk shows and just her being herself in front of like a camera.
Absolutely, but we can't count her in your favorite stand-up comedians.
No, we can't count her, but that's an honorable mention.
I totally agree. Because if we're going into comedic actors, you've got to include Lucille Ball and a bunch of people who didn't do stand-up. Okay, so.
I mean, of course, the great Kathy Griffin.
Okay, so some people can't stand Kathy Griffin.
No, I don't like her stand-up. I just like that she can be funny.
Oh, she can be really funny. I think some of her stand-up is funny. I think she's a funny person. I think she, believe it or not, a lot of people disagree with me, but I think she's very attractive. She had that show, My Life on the D List, and she was on Suddenly Susan, I believe, and she was even on a Seinfeld episode where she played a giant bitch. But so do you find female comics funny?
I want to say yes, but yes, because there are some female comics that, for instance, there's one that came from Kill Tony. I forgot her name. She's Italian, but she doesn't have an Italian accent. I like her. That's cool. Very funny.
From Kill Tony, are you sure she's not Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
There are some famous murders that have happened.
Christina Mariani.
I was just gonna say I know who you're talking about, Christina Mariani. Okay, when she has,
You got a great personality.
and she's
jokes a bit like Mitch Hedberg.
she's attractive, and she has one joke that's absolutely killer.
Was the pickup line?
I think she's like going out running, and she sees an African American guy who comes up to her, something like that, and
Then she grabbed her purse.
yeah, she grabs her purse, but there's like a take on it that you're not expecting, and that was when she told that the first time. People blew up about that joke, how funny it was, and then that got her like in the regulars basically. But what?
Yeah, no, she's great.
Yeah, she is. I think she's.
So I do like female. I mean, I like comics because I like female comics. I just don't know too many of them to like tell them out.
I've got you. Okay, so my goat is Joan Rivers. My second favorite is Roseanne Barr, who used to kill. Absolutely hilarious stand-up comedian, and then had a very funny television show. I'm a fan of let's see here, Nikki Glaser. I think she's also very attractive. Um, I think that she's probably my favorite female comedian who is like of my age or so. But she doesn't. I haven't seen enough of her stuff to really say like she's hilarious. I think that um, so there's a lady. What's her name? She was popular. She was on the show Grace Under Fire. But
Okay, so this goes back. Okay, I can only name female comics from Paul Provenza. Could you let me know if you've heard of these people? Sandra Bernhard.
of course, yeah. I was gonna say Sandra Bernhard's up there. She was on Roseanne. She was like the first openly lesbian character ever.
I didn't know Richard Pryor's daughter did stand up.
Yeah, her name is like hold on. She has a really interesting name, like Willow Pryor or something.
Rain Pryor.
Rain Pryor. Apologies. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. I have seen her. I don't think she's that funny, but that doesn't mean she isn't. I just haven't seen anything of her that's been really funny.
I know what you mean. She's got a great personality.
Wait, that's different. That's different. She's very funny, and I've seen her on the I Love the '80s, and she's really funny on that. But I've never seen her on stand up be really funny.
No, and yeah, I get what you mean. I don't know too much about her.
Name some other people.
That's
Okay,
I don't know about Roseanne Barr, Sandra Bernhard.
yeah, they were on the same show. Roseanne got her on the Roseanne show, and Whitney Cummings was like a writer on that show way back in the day, or like at the very end or something like that. She had some kind of connection to that. Okay, and then there's Brooke, not Brooke, but what is this lady's name? Um, she was really funny, but then um, she had an alcohol problem, and it was really kind of unique that she had it all. She had a show on ABC, Brett Butler. That's what I was thinking of, and she had it all. And then allegedly, she like sexually abused one of the kids on it, like a dude, and she just had this drinking problem, and she's never been able to recover from it. But she was very funny back in the day. Um, and I want to say that, like, for anybody who watches my streams in the future, and we're having this discussion on comedy, women have not been given the same opportunities to do stand up that men have. And plus, it's a dirty, dangerous world of doing nightclubs in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and Tupelo, Mississippi, and the Comedy Store. You know, like you're out late at night and things like that. It's not always been a place where people have wanted to go, especially if you're a female comedian. But some of these women who did it extremely well. You know, there are others. There was one, like, there were some comics, I can't name them now, but like, here's what would happen. They would get really good, and then they would get a job on a television show as a producer, and then they wouldn't do stand-up comedy anymore. So that's another thing as well, where a lot of these ladies would get successful, but you wouldn't necessarily hear about them because they were doing something behind the scenes or something like that. But
They were doing writing. They were ghost writers for jokes. And this is my take. I don't know if it's right or not. But if you were good, you definitely get a writer job. You get cushioned. It was such a cushy job. Paid you well. Took care of you. You never had to do stand-up again. Basically, it's from the gist of what I've heard.
That's right. Okay, so let's go through a list. Okay, so Ali Wong, very funny comedian. She was on a show called All American Girl in the '90s, and it was like the first Asian show that was ever on TV, and it was really good. All right, Quinta Brunson. I don't know who that is. Nicole Byer. I don't necessarily know who that is.
I do have two more female comics that I remember.
Give it to me.
Caroline Rhea.
Love her, and I think she's beautiful. Yeah, Caroline Ray, and then
She's amazing.
yeah, absolutely.
She's, if I correct me if I'm wrong, she's married to Colin Quinn.
Is that true?
Right. So that's why Google had abandoned theirs. Oh yeah, was that the like
Looking that up.
Nazi or whatever? It was like a beautiful black woman or something. Yeah. Native American woman Nazis. It was a Chinese lady Nazi.
No, she was married to somebody else. Kostaki Economopoulos, some Greek guy.
Because I swear it looked like they were dating on the show. They were just so close to each other.
Again, wasn't she a female comedian? Or wasn't she a female actor, though? I don't ever know that she did stand-up.
Right, that's another thing. It almost seems like a thin line.
Right.
But who knows?
No, you're absolutely right. If you get a funny lady, a lot of times, if they're at all attractive, they'll just put them in front of the camera. And so, like Rosie O'Donnell, I guess, you know what, Rosie O'Donnell and Caroline Ray, they did do stand-up. They had shows. They did, like, the Caroline Ray show where she would have writers write for her, and, like, how the Tonight Show has the monologue. She would do a little monologue, and Rosie O'Donnell, I believe, did the same. And so that's stand-up. It's a little bit different, but that's stand-up. So, yeah, I get that definitely counts.
All right, and then the next one was Liz Winstead.
Okay, I'm going to look her up, because I don't know.
I don't know if she was a teenager, but she definitely appeared.
It just kept spiraling, and it's like really funny for me actually.
But there's another thing too. Is just when it comes to female powers, it almost seems like a handful than you would even know.
It's so few. Well, because two reasons. One, well, three maybe. They get pulled. Maybe four. It's dangerous, and women don't want to be in that situation. And I wouldn't want to either when you've got a bunch of horny guys around you. Secondly, well, I guess as well, you know, people want to raise families, and that's like, those are like the key years for the same opportunities as men. Fourthly, there's just this idea that women comics are not funny. It's like a stereotype. Even though it's not true, some women are very, very funny. It just seems to be rarer than men. And those are, oh, and fifthly, if a woman's funny and she's at all attractive, they'll give her own show, or they'll put her on a show. So she doesn't have to do the grime of doing all the traveling that you have to do in stand-up. She can just live in Hollywood and be on the show. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that because if you're a guy doing comedy, it's so competitive.
So competitive, so grimy. I can't believe what these guys do. They will travel from like the upper Northwest to do a show in like Boise, Idaho for like $50. They'll drive like 8 hours for $50, if that. And they don't even know if they're going to get paid. You know what I mean? Like in a snowstorm. I would think that they would get paid so much more than they do. But then again, they don't really have to do anything except memorize some stuff and deliver it. But it's difficult to do. It's this paradigm that I have. Like, well, it's pretty simple to do, so why do you have to pay them a lot? But then again, how are you going to get somebody in your little Hoboken town where nobody knows about you if you're not going to pay them well? But basically, like, there was even a thing. So I don't know how much you know about the Comedy Store, but there was a time at the Pauly Shore, yeah, and Mitzi Shore. Basically, the comedians in the late 1970s or so went on strike, basically because they weren't getting paid, and so that's how they created a system where you would get like $15. These guys would only make $15. You would go up in the Comedy Store. If you go up on the Comedy Store, I would think you'd make $1,000 every single time, but not at all. You go up, you do your 10 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever, you make $15. And that's only if you're a paid regular. Like, they don't pay very well. The idea of the Comedy Store, what their argument was, because they weren't paying comics, they would say, you get it out of exposure. We're going to have every manager in the city in our audience, and you're going to get an agent that way. So why should we have to pay you? And there was this big disagreement to the point where today, if you look at the Comedy Store's website, at the very bottom and within the website, there's a whole story about what happened. Um, Very briefly, I'll just give you a summary um, of what happened in the 70s. Um, and it might have been the early 80s, but here we go. It was the 1979 Comedy Store strike. In 1979, stand-up comedians at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, led by figures such as Jay Leno, David Letterman, who normally, if you know, don't get along, and Tom Dreesen, organized a labor action demanding payment for their performances, marking a pivotal moment in comedy history. They weren't getting paid for them previously, which is mind-blowing. The comedians, who were classified as independent contractors, argued that the club, operated by Mitzi Shore, was exploiting them by offering no pay despite generating significant profits. They formed a group called Comedians for Compensation and staged a 6-week strike beginning in March of 1979, picketing the club and refusing to perform. The dispute arose after Shore opened a larger showroom where she paid headliners but not the younger comics performing there, prompting the comedians to seek for compensation. The strike was not legally recognized as a formal labor strike because the comedians were not employees under contract, but it was a significant protest against the club's no pay policy. Tensions escalated, including an incident where an anti strike comic attempted to drive through the picket line, knocking down Jay Leno, who feigned injury to draw attention. The strike had a profound impact, leading to a settlement in May of 1979 where comedians in the main room were paid $25 per set on weekdays and weekends, and later $15 per set, a rate that remained unchanged until it was raised to $20 in 2024. Like, even still, those guys make nothing. $20 for doing a set. They The strike also prompted other comedy clubs, including the Improv, to begin paying their performers, fundamentally changing the industry standard. The event left a lasting legacy, including the suicide of comedian Steve Lubitkin, who jumped from the roof of the Hyatt Hotel across the street, leaving a note stating he used to work at the Comedy Store. The strike transformed Mitzi Shore from a perceived mentor into a more business oriented figure, ending the club's earlier artist colony atmosphere and ushering in a more commercial era. The conflict was also deepened rivalries, particularly with Bud Friedman's Improv, which quickly adopted a pay policy and became a haven for comedians during the strike. How interesting is that?
That's comedy history.
It most certainly is. And isn't it amazing that they still only make $20 there?
So that's strike at the 15. That's how you know inflation is $20.
Wait, 100%. And think about it. Like 20, it was $15 in 1979. That's like $70 or $80 today.
Yeah, inflation.
Right, but notice they didn't raise it to what inflation would have been.
No, that I agree that it's $20.
Right? Have you?
Now it's like $20 is not the same.
Oh no, not even close. Have you ever been to the Comedy Store?
I have. I've seen probably short before.
What did you think?
He's exactly how I saw him on TV. I feel as though he is on stage, but off stage is about the same.
I would imagine so. I don't find him to be that funny though.
Comedy's comedy. But I know what you mean. It's like if I saw him perform, I would want to laugh.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you might have a couple drinks with you and everything. I found him funny to be. He was funny in like the early '90s, and when he had his show and stuff. But I don't know. sometimes
Yeah, he
he
was really edgy, which was that was his thing. He was really edgy and quirky, and he wrote that. I feel like he just wrote that to now. I don't know.
he of anybody who's had a nice life, I feel like he's had a pretty nice life. Uh, Basically, he was an MTV. He was on MTV as like a kid. He never had to go to college. He was always taken care of. He always had the funniest people around him. Um, but so I'll say this: he never had to be really funny because he knew he could always get up on the comedy at the Comedy Store or anywhere else. But he made some movies that were popular, and so with that being said, I think I really mean this is going to sound absolutely bonkers to you. He's going to win an Oscar, and if you're like, how the fuck is he going to win an Oscar? So he's starring in um, the movie, the biopic on what is his name? Um, I'll get it in a second. He's starring in the biopic of Richard Simmons, and he looks just like Richard Simmons, and he does the impression really, really well. And you watch, I could see a world where Pauly Shore wins an Oscar for that performance, and I would be really happy for him. I think in a lot of ways, people have made fun of him for many years for not deserving an Oscar, and I think that, I mean, not deserving anything, but uh, the Richard Simmons estate is fighting this movie, but it's moving forward. Do you know who Richard Simmons is? The exercise guy from the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you've ever seen Richard Simmons and Pauly Shore, they look very similar. And and Pauly Shore, oh yeah, oh yeah, and he does really well. And they kind of sound alike as well, and I'm excited for it. So I don't know where they're at in that movie, but um, and I've got to say I haven't seen a lot of Pauly Shore stand up, but that's because Pauly Shore didn't travel and do specials. He didn't need to. So for me to
Let's go back to what you said earlier. Yeah, just kind of thinking that. Like, yeah, you're somebody who's kind of wearing a lot of it. Pretty much Hollywood, LA.
yeah, he lives in the Hollywood Hills. He hooks up with the hottest chicks who come down to the Comedy Store. He got set up by his mom and dad, and that's totally cool. His brother runs the Comedy Store, so he doesn't even have to worry about that. He's got a great life, I've got to say. I mean, he's a millionaire, and he also has like a bunch of movies that he did in the early '90s that have made him very popular. So for those, he made Biodome and Son-in-Law and like a bunch of others. So um, in my own way, like we all should be as fortunate as Pauly Shore. And now, look, he could have been the son of not just millionaires but billionaires, and then probably had his own life or whatever. But his life has been in the public, and he's just had like it's been interesting. So I was interested to hear what your take on that was. Um, I Yeah, definitely. Okay, so back to female comedians. Um,
Oh,
uh,
yeah. So I was going to list
all right, go ahead.
first off, and I can't believe that I didn't remember this female comic in particular, Sarah Silverman.
Absolutely, yeah. How could we forget? Absolutely hilarious, very attractive in my opinion. Actor as well, very funny. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I can't believe. I mean, there are so many people we're thinking of, and with the excitement, yeah. Sarah Silverman, if you ever watch this in the future, we definitely appreciate your contributions to humor.
That was live. Uh, it was the same night that Bill Burr performed.
Wow, you got to see Bill Burr perform?
I got to see Bill Burr perform. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Or
amazing.
a random pop-up.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but I didn't have to pay those tickets. I paid regular. I think that was the best part about that whole night.
I could see that. One person who I absolutely think is hilarious, who I want to make sure we include her, Wanda Sykes. Have you ever seen Wanda Sykes perform?
I was just thinking about this.
Oh, she's so funny. She's so funny, and she does this voice. I mean, like whatever it is, she'll be like, "How do you think I'm gonna be doing something like that?" It's just so funny when she does that. Like she's just got this way that she's just brilliant. Very funny. If you ever watch her early Comedy Central specials, they're some of the best ones. And then she got the Wanda Sykes show, and she was on Curb Your Enthusiasm and other things. So I just think she's absolutely hilarious. Um, I'm looking at a list here. Now I've never really seen her do stand up. I've seen her on Saturday Night Live, and that's Tina Fey. But they put her on here as a female comic, and I think she's very funny. But again, she's a female actor to me, just like Amy Poehler or Sherry O'Terry from Saturday Night Live, or um, uh, like any of those people on Saturday Night Live. They didn't really do stand up; they did skits and improv and stuff, and that's a little different. I'm talking about women who got in a fucking car and road tripped across the United States, or took a plane with nothing but a suitcase and got in front of a microphone. And I don't know if Tina Fey ever did that. I don't know that she ever did, but I know Sarah Silverman did.
Do you know who Phyllis Diller is?
Oh, I love Phyllis Diller. Absolutely, I know who Phyllis Diller is, and she's up there as a GOAT. She's absolutely hilarious. Have you ever seen the? Yeah, she's up there with Joan Rivers as one of the funniest women of all time. Have you ever seen the movie The Aristocrats? What is it?
It's the worst joke that you can ever tell.
Oh, I know what the joke is. Oh yeah, okay. I thought you were saying that Jerry Seinfeld had a funny take on it. They all have a funny take on it. Drew Carey has a funny take on it. Phyllis Diller has a funny take on it. Gilbert Gottfried, somebody we did not mention. I think Gilbert Gottfried, a guy who his death kind of took me by surprise. He was very funny, and he had this annoying kind of humor, but I just thought he was very, very funny. He was the first guy to ever do a post 9/11 joke.
Oh my gosh. His take on 9/11 was the funniest shit I've ever thought. I would have never. He's the right person to have said it. I'll say it.
I'm in agreement.
No one else could have thought it.
I'm in agreement with you. It was such a sensitive time that it was like, who's going to break the ice over this? And he is the perfect guy to do it.
It's like if we can't laugh about it, why? It's like why laugh about it? It's like just laugh about it now because you know you're just gonna laugh about it.
That's right. I made a mistake. Ali Wong is a more recent comic. I met Margaret Cho, and apologies to Ali Wong or Margaret Cho.
Margaret Cho is great.
Yeah, she is great.
She was on complimentary when she was talking about her life as an Asian American comic. It was fun.
Absolutely. So apologies, Margaret Cho. She's the one with All American Girl. It was a hilarious show. Now, this is a comedian. She did stand up, and back in the day, I think she was gorgeous. Janine Garofalo, hilarious person. If you know who Janine Garofalo is, she was on a Seinfeld. She was on Saturday Night Live.
rock all the way. It was broken for.
Being up. I know who this is. She was at girlfriend and oh my god, she okay. She's hilarious.
She is hilarious.
She's political.
Exactly.
Yeah. She has an interesting take. I think if she was to still do that now, it's just as funny.
I feel like I could have been friends with her. Like she was like really like alt, like but just could be really really. And back in the day, she was gorgeous. Okay, here's one who gets a lot of shit, and I hate to say it. I don't find her that funny, and a lot of people don't either. Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer, her take on politics, face. I'll say that's the best part about it. It's just
So I think that the waters were a little poisoned when I first learned about her because she got this reputation as a joke thief, and then she had to like go out and do this press tour that she's not a joke thief, and I just never found her all that funny. What I will say is she had a show inside Amy Schumer, and I think that was a hilarious title for it. And but frankly, also she got a lot of shit. Netflix used to put up how many stars a movie got, like from 0 to 5 or whatever, and you could do like thumbs up or thumbs down on it, and then they stopped doing that after Amy Schumer's special because they say that she got like review bombed, and because people wanted to make her special the least upvoted or least popular stand-up special in the history of Netflix. I've never seen her special, so I can't say specifically. I will say I forget. Ali Wong had a stand-up special that I watched. It was called like Baby Cobra. I thought it was Baby Cobra or something, and it was very funny. Okay. Amber Ruffin. I don't know who that is. She had her own show though. Okay, what are your thoughts on Leslie Jones? Do you know who Leslie Jones is? Leslie Jones. She was in Ghostbusters.
She did stand up. I personally watched her, but she was on SNL and he was on some commercials. So
Exactly.
I always thought of her.
AT&T and stuff. Huge personality, and that's what I would say. I've never seen your stand-up. I don't know if you've done specials. Huge personality, and she could be really funny on some stand-up. Someone who's not on there, but Tiffany Haddish. Do you know who Tiffany Haddish is?
Yes.
I have never seen her specials. And one thing is, like, I don't watch all that many specials on Netflix and stuff. But what I do is I watch them. Like, it depends how I can get to them. But I've seen Tiffany Haddish on Kill Tony, and she was very funny on Kill Tony.
I remember her back in the car.
Right.
I think that's a really helpful.
I absolutely agree. And you know, she got in trouble for sexual assault.
She assaulted somebody sexually.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, the person with whom she got in trouble, they assaulted somebody on some show. This person is not only an amazing comedian, but does maybe the best impressions of any comedian, at least African American comedian impressions, because not everybody can do those. He does them better than anybody, and that's Ari Spears. Do you know who Ari Spears is?
Ari Spears.
Or Ari Spears?
Oh, Ari Spears. I know Ari Spears. He was a great comedian. Yeah, I like his earthquake.
He did Mad TV. He does some of the best Jay-Z impressions and DMX impressions, like basically rappers from like 2000 to 2015, or like he does something like he does impressions that I've never seen anybody do impressions before on these people. Because usually, I'm not saying always, but a lot of the impressionists of old were white comics, and so they wouldn't do impressions of black guys. But he would do impressions, and he'd do impressions of white guys. He would do Shaq and like all these guys who normally didn't people wouldn't do impressions of, and he's just absolutely hilarious. But yeah, Ari Spears or Ari Spears, however you say his name, he got in trouble with Tiffany Haddish over they allegedly sexually assaulted somebody on some show, and that kind of hurt their career. That hurt their careers. But he's absolutely hilarious. Um,
You know who else does impressions?
Dana Carvey.
Godfrey.
Okay, yeah, got everybody like he was so big at one time, and then he kind of just went by the wayside.
Yeah.
But he was very
I agree.
he was very funny at one time. You know who? And if you ever listen to these podcasts who change the game, who people give credit to changing the game with social media, is Dane Cook. Dane Cook was so big. Dane Cook was Matt Rife before Matt Rife, where he was the first person who was really doing comedy on MySpace, and he had a huge following, and he had a lot of very physical comedy. He was a good-looking dude, and girls loved him, and he was a comedy phenomenon. He was an absolute comedy phenomenon in like 2003 to 2005. There was not a bigger comedian on the planet than Dane Cook. At least
It was
amongst millennials.
Yes, I agree. He was everywhere.
He was everywhere.
2000s.
It-
He was he had he was one of the great I wouldn't say great of all time, but he was one of those great comedy movies that you heard of that era. There in 2000s.
With Jessica Simpson, right?
There was the one with Jessica Simpson, the one that he was not a star in, but he was just the dominant one. He was in Waiting.
Oh yeah, that's right. He went, and then he did his own movie with Jessica Simpson, and then he kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, that just goes with a lot of people. I feel like once they get
They get that bag.
better check,
They get that bag. Exactly. And he got accused of joke thievery by Louis C.K. Or people accused him of stealing a Louis C.K. joke. And then when Louis had that show, Louis, they did a parody of it where I think like Dane Cook stole something different from Louis C.K. It comes in and apologizes for it. Kind of one of those things to make amends. And yeah, but Dane Cook was giant. Have you seen all the Seinfelds?
Seinfeld, but not all of them.
Like comedians before. Okay, so do you know who Dom Herrera is?
Tom Herrera.
Dom Herrera. Look him up. You'll know his face. DOM space IRERRA, something like that. He's from Philadelphia, but he's a Comedy Store staple. He was on Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah, I know who Tom Herrera is.
Yeah, exactly. I knew you would.
One of the greats.
One of the greats, exactly. And he's kind of too old now to do it, but he did a lot of different things. He did a bunch of different shows as well. He did a lot of voice acting, and like you name it, Don Herrera at some point had something to do with the show. He did okay, and then another guy. He died, but Richard Jenny. Do you know who Richard Jenny is?
Yeah, I've heard of Rick. Yes.
Yeah, so Richard Jenny was a big one. Like back in the day, these are guys who never kind of hit that cusp where they got their own show, but they were really big. Drew Carey used to be a really funny comedian. I mean, he's a game show host now, but he was really funny back in the day. And Tim Allen. Tim Allen was a monster comic at one point, and then just started this, a huge acting career, comedic actor, where he did Home Improvement and he did Last Man Standing, and he's doing something else now. Kind of the same character in all of them, but he has found his niche and he's very successful with it. He's been very funny. And what I love about Tim Allen's story is he got arrested for cocaine possession in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Now, he snitched on the guys, which is normally not seen as cool, but he was able to turn his life around. And I think that was really cool.
So if anybody wants to go, the best case is you go and wait at the front, and sometimes they don't show up.
Right. I mean, it's not cool to snitch, but it is cool that he was able to become become a monster.
Do you think that you really snitched on the guy, or you just told him, look, I'll put some money on your books, but you gotta take one from the team?
I think he snitched on a bunch of people because he was facing like a huge amount of time, and they basically let
I
him
didn't
go.
know too much about that.
Another guy who got in trouble for drugs is Bill Murray back in the day. Now, I don't think he snitched on anybody, but he got caught at like Midway Airport or something with a bunch of marijuana. Now, he was more comedic. He did like improv. I don't know if I ever saw him do traditional stand up. He could have. I'm sure all these guys did to some extent. But he got on. He was on Second City, so that's like improv. And all right, we've got. What are your thoughts on Ray Romano as a comedian?
Ray Romano is a comedian. I think he is just a guy's guy. Who like his stuff, for sure. But he's always been laid back in life, which is great. If you like, he's not dead, man, but he's also not. He's not like who would I compare him to? I don't know. He's very laid back, I'd say. He's not the most energetic comic.
That's true. I think he's very funny. I think his show was very funny. That was a big hit on CBS. Who else?
He has a take on his life on the road being a stand-up, and how he thinks of himself as a bit of a hoax. It's a part of himself that never goes away.
I could see that. He did a special that I saw, and again, I don't see that many specials, though I probably see way more specials than your average person. But because I haven't seen everybody's special, I feel like there are a lot of them that I haven't seen. But he did this special in New York City, I believe, at maybe the Comedy Cellar, and then went to Caroline's when that was open, or something like this, where it's really cool. It's on Netflix, I believe, or something like that, where he does like 30 minutes in one of the facilities or one of the places, and then keeps the camera on himself as he walks to the other one. And people stop him and they're like, hey, what's going on? And he talks with them a little bit. He's like, I got to get to this other show or whatever. And it's just him talking and like with his family. And then he does 30 minutes at the other one. And I thought that was a really cool way. It's like normally you would just do one set at a given facility and that's it. But he did two of them in separate facilities and then videoed the walk between the two. And I thought that was just a really interesting, unique way of doing a comedy special. I don't remember the name of it. What are your thoughts on? Another good comedian? Oh, Richard Leary. Or is his name Richard Leary? No. I'm saying his name wrong. Dennis Leary. Apologies.
Dennis Leary.
Look him up. You'll know exactly who this is. He was in.
I've heard he did stand-up. Of course, you know more as an actor.
Exactly. Boy, did he do stand up. But here's the thing. he stole Bill Hicks's material, and then Bill Hicks died of cancer, and then Richard or Leary, like, haha, bitch, like, I'm still alive and I stole your shit. So a lot of people haven't been real happy with Dennis Leary, but back in the day, when before people found out that he did that, he was a monster. He did really well. He was seen as a giant comedian, and then he did that show on FX, whatever, about being a fireman, and then Rescue Me, I think it was called. And now he's tried to go back out and do it, but a lot of people have found out the lore and been like, in the comedy world does not forgive very easily. And especially the comedians, when they find out you stole somebody's shit, they don't let you forget it. And it's so easy for that news to spread. Like, somebody be like, oh, I love Dennis Leary as a comedian. And then somebody be like, well, guess what? He stole Bill Hicks's shit. And then be like, oh, well, now I kind of look stupid for liking him because I thought he was so original and everything, but he's really not. All right. Comedians. Who's another comedian? I'm sure we're missing one. Okay. So they were more SNL guys, but we're talking impressionists. Well, okay. So I said, what's his name? So three guys I want to name, but they were really SNL. There's Rob Schneider, who I've never really seen do stand-up comedy, maybe a little bit, but he's always been pretty funny. But he's more comic, improv or comic actor. Well, Adam Sandler does stand-up, and it's good, but I still see him not as your traditional stand-up comedian because he started in improv and he was an actor and things like that. But then there's David Spade. Again, just did the SNL thing. Didn't work his. I don't want to say didn't work his way up, but not as well known to be doing that. And then there's I even just said his name.
I think we're missing the great Judd Apatow.
Yeah. Well, that's true. But then became a director. The one who we didn't name is Dave Attell.
Dave Attell, who still does stand-up.
Still does stand-up.
He's still doing it, yo.
If I ever go viral, I want to have a show like he had. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was called Insomniac with Dave Attell, where he would just walk around the Comedy Store after hours or like late at night and just do interviews with people and smoke. Like, that was the whole show. And I just think that would be really cool. Hey, we're gonna just walk around and just interview people with a camera. I think that'd be like, people would fucking love that if you did it today, and especially if you're a comedian to do it. So yeah, Dave Attell. A lot of people consider Dave Attell to be the modern day funniest comedian out there. A lot of people. I'm not saying that he is, but I don't. But I should say he can be very funny. And I have found him funny in the past. That's exactly right. And that's a perfect way to put it. I was going to say, the reason why I say that, Tony Hinchcliffe considers Dave Attell to be the GOAT. And I don't necessarily agree with that as much. I'm more a Chappelle guy myself. But I could see how people think that. Okay. Other guys who we don't consider.
Other guys, I would say, for other guys.
Bob Saget.
Jamie Kilstein.
Okay, I don't know who that is. I'm gonna look him up.
Yeah, look, he's still doing stand-up. But if you don't know him, I'd say Ron White.
Oh yeah, big time. Let's talk about those guys for a second. So they did the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. You had Jeff Foxworthy, who we didn't mention, a giant, came up with his own equation, basically the you might be a redneck, and just rode that into the comedy sunset, but then also did Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, and has more money than he knows what to do with, and I'm really happy for him. But when he came out, that was big. Then you had Bill Engvall, who was also in that. I never found him that funny. but he was big. And then he had the Bill Engvall show, which nobody watched, but I sadly watched some of it. And Jennifer Lawrence was on that show, who then became a big actor. Then you have Larry the Cable Guy. He did his own thing, Get Her Done. He made that into a ton of movies and all kinds of other shit. And then Ron White, who is the reason why the comedy mothership is in Austin, Texas now, because of a conversation. Oh yeah, so it was during the pandemic, and Ron White was found out that Joe Rogan got all this money from Spotify and said, and they were in Austin and said, hey, you should really build a comedy club here. You know, it's right in the middle of the United States. You can get to New York or LA in like 2 or 3 hours. The weather's good. You don't have to worry about snow. The people are cool. And it's just kind of a liberal city. And Joe Rogan had all this money and basically wanted to tell California, go stick it. So he built the comedy mothership there. But he has said the reason why he moved to Austin was not just because of the laws and things during the pandemic, but because he already had a friend there, which was Ron White.
All right.
And Ron White is hilarious.
Ron White was like one of the reasons.
Oh, big time. And he's a staple of the comedy mothership in the green room, and he's there all the time, or seemingly he's on there. He's on there a lot. He's there a lot. And now, before he did that, he was living this interesting life where, these guys get really big. He didn't need to make any more money after doing the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. They made all kinds of money with that. It was a movie. They sold all kinds of DVDs. He was fine. And he married this lady who eventually, I think he went into business with her brother, and they started a tequila line called Number One. Like not number one, but like number one, Juan. And then the lady who he married, it's something like this, got pissed off at him someday, at one day, and he was flying private to all these shows, but then he wanted to save a little bit of money, so he started just flying first class, and he had some weed on him, and they stopped him at she called ahead and said, hey, this guy's going to have weed on him, and they stopped him, and he got into some trouble for that. Anyway, he was living in Beverly Hills, and basically had like a really nice place there. Didn't need to work anymore at all. And then I think his son moved to Austin in like 2016 or something like that, and then he ended up moving from Beverly Hills to Austin in like 2018, something like that. And then the pandemic happened, and he's the reason why the comedy mothership is in Austin. There's no doubt about that. Because I heard Joe Rogan talk about it just recently, even that he said it to a bunch of people. That Ron White he even does an impression of him, like, you should really start a club out here. It'd be great with all the money you got. Like, what else you gonna do? That's what life's about, making people happy. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, Ron White, amazing. And okay, so let's go into the original kings of comedy. We already talked about Bernie Mac. Steve Harvey, absolutely hilarious. I love Steve Harvey. And some people, he can be a controversial figure to some people, but to me, at least from a stand-up point of view, he is hilarious.
I don't know too much about stand-up, but he is hilarious.
He's hilarious on Family Feud.
Yes.
Oh man, he has great taste in music. He has great taste in suits. Love a lot. I love a lot about Steve Harvey. Okay, then we got Cedric the Entertainer, who a lot of people think. Well, I shouldn't say it. We haven't even named him one of the funniest motherfuckers out there.
Stand-up comedian that I have nothing but good words to say about it.
Oh, he's so fucking funny. He's so fucking funny. And Pimp Chronicles, up there with one of like top 10 albums of all time or top 10 uh, specials of all time, perhaps. I mean, he's so funny. He doesn't take shit from anybody. He'll just go out and tell you you're not funny. He's just so fucking hilarious. And I really like Cat Williams. I think he's just a really funny guy. He's really fast too. Even like he did something where he just ran a 40 and he ran it like, let's say like 4.5 or something like that. I don't know. I don't think it was that fast, but I think he ran sub 5, which is good for being an old, not a spring chicken. He's hilarious. Okay, so he comes out and starts ripping on Cedric the Entertainer. That's Cedric the Entertainer isn't funny, isn't a good actor, isn't a good dancer, and isn't a good stand-up. So what is he entertaining? Basically, it's just like this thing that he does. Cedric the Entertainer, though, back in the day, very funny. He had the Cedric the Entertainer show. That was a good show. I have nothing negative to say anything about him, but I just know it's funny what Cat Williams says about him. Okay, and then we've got D.L. Hughley. You know who D.L. Hughley is?
Can't say that.
So he had a show called The Hughleys, and these were the guys who were known as the original Kings of Comedy. And there was like, I hate to say it, but there was like the black version, which was the original Kings of Comedy, and the white version, which was the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. And these guys sold more DVDs than you can even imagine, like between 2000 and 2004. They all basically did really well doing that. And the 4 guys on the original Kings of Comedy, maybe it was 5, there was Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, and Bernie Mac. And there might have been some other people, but I think that was it. So they had those 4 guys, and then the 4 from the Blue Collar Comedy Tour: Jeff Foxworthy, Steve Engvall, Ron White, and
that shit is Doug Stanhope.
oh, dude, absolutely. Now, he's hilarious, and he doesn't get enough credit. I think because he's so dirty. He's such a blue comic, but he is a killer. And do you remember when he did the Man Show after Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel? He did the Man Show with Joe Rogan.
I think so.
Yeah, that's when I was really introduced to Doug Stanhope, and he's just like a blue comic, very, very funny. Lives in Bixby, Arizona, and is like the mayor of Bixby, Arizona. And he does other shows as well. But basically, what he was doing, I just thought that was so cool of him. He would invite anybody who from anywhere in the United States to come to his house for the Super Bowl, and it eventually became too big that he couldn't do that anymore. But he would just get out and tweet and be like, "Hey, come to my house," and people would. Or like on a phone or something. And like Joey Diaz has a ton of stories about him. Oh, you know who we were talking about? Guys who went left too early. Ralphie May. Do you know who Ralphie May was?
Oh yeah, of course I know Ralphie May.
Absolutely. So I listen to Ralphie May and Joey Diaz. They do this like interview together. They do a bunch of them together. Oh yeah, these 2 fat guys. And I listen to these guys all the time when I'm watching sports in here because it's something that I can put on that confuses or like basically makes it so that the copyright infringement doesn't get me for the NFL. And I'll just leave those 2 guys on all the time. I can listen to them for hours. Ralphie May, a little too racist for my liking. He sometimes would say things that I wouldn't always agree with. However, deep down, I think he had a good-hearted. You know what? Actually, deep down, he's a super good-hearted guy. You ever hear he would take care of comics when he made it big? He would share. He wasn't miserly like a lot of these other comics. He like Joey Diaz has this story where he needed a tire, and Ralphie May called him and was like, "Hey Joey, where are you?" And he's like, I don't have the money. My car's in the shop, and I don't know how I'm going to pay for it." Ralphie May, basically something like this happened, called and picked him up, paid for 4 new tires, and took him to have sushi. And when they were done with sushi, Joey Diaz had like a brand new car, basically. Didn't buy him a new car, but change the oil and all the other shit they do, whatever. Just basically made it so that he could have a workable vehicle. And I just thought that was always cool. And like Joey Diaz or Ralphie May, they like at 9/11, all those guys at the Comedy Store, they went and had the gumbo at Ralphie May's house. Like, there's just a lot of things that people didn't know that Ralphie May did that were, um, made him, I think, a much nicer person than people know him to be. Uh, Another comedian who isn't really well known, but Jay Moore, he was pretty big back in like the late '90s, early 2000s. But what I think he did was big was he hosted the show or helped host the show Last Comic Standing. Did you ever watch Last Comic Standing? Are you there, big dog?
This subject is just so.
Can you hear me?
And particularly right now, after October
Worsty?
7th, I remember all of a sudden.
I don't know if you can hear me. It's okay if you can.
Right out in the open, blaming Jews for everything.
Worsty, I don't know if you can hear me, but boy, I've enjoyed talking comedy with you. I listen to comedy all the time, but I don't always have people with him to speak. So you've made my evening. Shout out to Worsty. Worsty.
What you do is very valuable. It's very valuable to me. It's very valuable to human beings that want to hear this nuanced, comprehensive perspective on these conflicts. And from a person who obviously cares deeply about them and cares deeply about the human cost of these. One of the things you do so well, and I was just talking to Dave Smith about this yesterday, the gravity of war, the toll it takes on.
Are you there?
Exaggerate.
I'm sorry. A long day today.
Absolutely, my friend. I was just saying, you get your sleep. I just want you to know how much I appreciate being able to talk comedy with you. You are a comedy aficionado, and you're always welcome here. Feel free to sleep in the server. I get, other people in here are doing that. But if anything, if you don't have the opportunity to do that, please come back because I'd love to continue to talk comedy with you.
Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry that I was loud.
You're good, big dog. You're good. You get your sleep, okay, big man?
Thank you, boss. Take care now. I'll definitely tell my talk more about it.
That's what I love to hear.
Unless you listen to this stuff, you can't. Unless they listen to your work, they can't say that.
All right, latest.
Take care, big dog.
Someone trying to opine upon a culture that they've never read about.
Shout out to Worski. What a cool conversation that was. What a cool conversation that was. That was neat. Love that. I'm gonna have to check out that green room thing. That sounds cool. He knew. Motherfucker knew what Fire and the Kid was. That's hilarious. Nobody knows what that is.
Alright. About something real quick. We're talking to that guy here today. That reminded me of something. And it's what's going on in the world. What's been happening since I was a kid. When I was a kid, somebody, a teacher in high school, we were talking about drugs. They were talking about drugs. I still remember the teacher. He said that the reason people think Colombia's selling the drugs, it's not the Colombian. It's everybody who's against the United States. It's China. It's fucking Russia. All this shit. At the end of the day, it's to weaken us. So when they come over to take over, all they got to do is throw a bag of coke at us. Grab that bag of coke. And that's it. I want people to know that that's a common fucking thing. Right now, if somebody wanted to take over us, we'd be so easy as one country. And it's not because we're divided. It's not because we're politically whatever. It's because we've become so stupid and so infatuated with things that don't affect your life. And I don't know if you guys know this, it bothers me to no end. I love waking up in the morning. I love it. Smoking dope and going on the internet and seeing a bunch of people talking about shit early in the morning. It doesn't affect their lives at all. It doesn't put a dime in your pocket. It doesn't change your life at any level at all. And I love to see when people get fired up for no reason. I tell you what I really love is when they go somewhere and they think that's what you want to talk about. Like when it becomes that. Like so when you guys think about the Bad Bunny thing, nothing. There's nothing to think about. But it's really fucking sad that 2 weeks later, I'm still reading about things that Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl. It's a fucking game. Okay, I don't know many of you people. I don't know if any of you guys in this room. I haven't even had right to look myself in the mirror. I respect the fucking Bible. With Jesus sitting next to me. I haven't ever watched the Super Bowl to see what a musical fucking guest is. I don't care if it's Prince, Michael Jackson, Snoop Dogg. I can give a fuck because it's a medley of songs. It's saying lyrics and I get it. You know, Paul McCartney. I don't want to hear Get Back. I don't want to hear that shit no more. I don't want to hear that shit no more. And the reason why people are bad at Bad Bunny is because the bad fucking last 5 fucking Super Bowls didn't agree with you, the musical guys. And you couldn't say that. You couldn't say that. Because that makes you a fucking racist, okay? But now, since you don't even think you speak English, it's so fun. You watch a game, you bet the game, you're trying to get a blowjob, since you're going to fucking find your own Bad Bunny. Well, Bad Bunny, the things that people were saying, like, I'm going to be honest, oh my God, like, Marky Wahlberg, go back, he's an idiot. That gets up at 4 in the morning every day, makes believe he's a Catholic. All this shit, man. Good prayer up, you know. What the fuck? That's the biggest bullshit in the world when you gotta go on the internet. You put it up, you know, like I want to respect you more because you're a fucking piece of shit Catholic. I don't really hear these people. I'm a Catholic, but I'm not a piece of shit Catholic. When I was doing bad shit, I didn't go to church. I didn't make believe. I didn't do that shit. And I would never sit in the fucking front and make believe I'm a saint. I sit in the back with the fucking sinners. It's like when you go to a Jew funeral, when you go to a Jew fucking, when you go to a cemetery, right? I don't want to be buried in front of the nice people. Bury me in the back with the Catholics that committed suicide. And the Jews put a tattoo on and didn't listen. You know, they didn't listen. They didn't listen. I'm not even Jewish. I won't get a tattoo. Because what happens? I'm not even fucking Jewish, but I know. You know, I know. But anyway, I don't want to get people started on the Jewish thing. Because then they'll but it's the truth. We're at 2 weeks now. People are angry about the non-government organization. You have to ask yourself, but the good thing about this, what happened to the insane list? It's gone. Because everybody's worried about the fucking, this is all they do to you. It's a fucking mental game. And you idiots go in and out of every fucking day with something else. And if you just focus on your life and your family, it would be so much easier. I'm going to tell you guys something now. I'm ashamed to tell you. I'll tell you. I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was when he got shot. When he got shot, my wife told me Charlie Kirk. I can Charlie Kirk is something the fucking phone. I don't even know who Charlie Kirk was. Right? I'm not ashamed to tell you that because I don't have time. I don't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk. I'm sorry that he's dead and all that. But you guys know what I'm saying. I don't have time. But you guys know because I'm so busy in my life, right? And focused on what we're trying to do and on a daily basis. And I look at my daughter and I look at us. And what needs to be done? What needs to be fucking done? Not Charlie Kirk. Not fucking the Super Bowl. Not anything. Not anything. I don't understand how people who bitch all day about president, this and the economy and this and that. Well, then focus on it. Yeah, but that's not fun. It's way more you get likes on Facebook. What's more fun? Hanging out with your buddies at work. That's so fucking awkward. Who gives a fuck? He said in Spanish all over me. Is that really what they're upset about? They're upset about anything, man. You know, but who do you want? Who do you want? I mean, because of Black Lives Matter, we have to put an hip hop. You know, and that's the truth. Now, that's the truth. Okay, I'm not ashamed to say it. We got a cater and panda to everybody. The only guy that should have been at the Super Bowl this year should have been a country guy. That's who should have been at the Super Bowl this year. Chris Stapleton and Dua Lipa or something like that. Somebody know. But America doesn't need to see that shit. Whether it's Snoop Dogg doing the crip walk, does that change your fucking life?
50 Cent hanging upside down.
Yeah, hanging upside down, big, aerobic. She's a singer.
I have to be honest,
If you want to do aerobics and try to surface this way, I don't want to say that. I want to see you play music, but that's not the fucking point. The point is that we're so concerned with things that aren't even on our fucking radar.
there's so much free time.
Who has free time
All these people
to
who are
jerk
upset,
off on this shit?
everybody.
Who has the free time?
And it's only going to get worse because when AI takes over, it's going to be nothing but people with time to get upset online. Because that's all I was thinking about when you were talking about this. Is you've talked for years about, you're doing stand-up or whatever. You can go, I had zero idea they were upset about the half picture. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Zero. I want to eat dinner the other night, and I had the bartender had something. And I go eat on a fucking Thursday night. This fucking knucklehead. And people were all like that. And then I was having a conversation. And I'm like, this is fucking bad. We love this. It's real. And for a guy like me, it's very hard because I'm getting my life not getting more friends. Not even listen to what I'm saying. I really deal with it. Like I get mad at my wife. When I sit in the shower, I'm a little bit messy. Being after the shower, my wife has a problem if I tell her to take a shower often. She needs to go in the shower. Like, but I'll tell her to get the fuck out. I love my wife. 25 years, I respect her. But she doesn't understand. When I walk into that shower, I'm thinking. I'm not thinking. So what do you have to do? Where's the brush? I don't fucking know. I'm not worried about how we're gonna pay. No, it's just okay. I don't know what. So on that morning, I shower. I don't know what to look like. Once she leaves, and on the door, I walk upstairs and in that shower, in that 20 minutes, after I scrub my asshole and my balls, shampoo, brush my teeth, I sit there and I think about my day. And I think, talking about a situation I have with my wife, that happened Friday. I thought about it for 3 days because usually I'm in Lockburn, I go down there with a stick. And the guy, he followed me. So as I got older, you have to think about things before you attack them. And that's what I need. And this is something that comes with age and wisdom. This wasn't me at 30. Because I know I'm an idiot. I'm a guy that end up in jail. On the text he said, I'm calling the police. What happened if I showed up down there? You know what I'm saying? So I have to think about it. It took me 3 fucking days, and they're very close friends of mine. That's also friends there. To make sure. And that's the world.
But that's not the point. I think
having a brand to social media and post something, and then you realize you posted the wrong thing and then get the facts.
that dude,
Why fucking post? Why post anything? My Twitter, my Instagram the last 5 years. I don't post much.
I got in trouble for liking a post. I don't want to bring it back up, but one of our friends posted something before we had all the information. I just liked it because I thought it was funny. I got messages that just because I liked it, I should get off the podcast.
You should get on it. And that's the problem you have. That's the problem you have, that nobody has a fucking life in it. You wouldn't worry about Epstein if you get your dick sucked and you sit there every day. Sucking your dick with ice cubes and whipped cream and shove the thing up your ass. You got no time to worry about Epstein, right? Yeah, you got no time to worry about nothing. You're just worried about this chick. This chick better not have a cavity. my beehole, a fucking cavity or something like that. You don't. When you thinking you're in love and you're fucking and you're having a good time, you're not thinking about this shit. I see people have thrown their lives away. Thrown their lives away. Focused on something that it's not going to work for them. Whether it's your sports team, you got different complaints about money. The boys are going to call them up, have a show, and buy pick up an envelope. Get a game to watch. Really? Somebody else I offered them a game. He told me it was their birthday. I can't call you no more. I'd love to do a show on my birthday. I can't call you no more because these are the same people. That bitch. That bitch. That bitch. Right now, if I could please have these people on the internet, I wouldn't be able to. I'd be fucking working. I know a girl that works 3 fucking jobs. I love this girl. She works 3 jobs. Ask her about bad blood. Ask her about Epstein. 3 jobs. To bet house off to open up a fucking gym. She put away money. She works 92 hours a fucking week. Okay? And ask her. She has a goal. I'm thinking of fucking just giving her money. Because that's what you do. When you want something, that's want. That's want. Everything else, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. That's want. My buddy fucking lost $30,000 on the Super Bowl 1 year. He left his house at 5 in the morning. And he got home at midnight every day for a year. And he paid off that fucking debt. That's life. Ask him about bad money. What was going on? All he was doing was smoking pot and one way to work. He got out of that debt. And on top of that, he ended up buying a $3,000 car 20 fucking years ago out of that debt. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't even try to tell me. Don't even fucking go there. Because you're focused on bullshit. You're focused on bullshit. Okay, when I did comedy, I didn't know what you were saying. I lost girlfriends because I do too much comedy. My family comes to want to meet. I didn't come here to meet your family. Once you cross that pander to either one of those markets, New York or LA, I don't know what you're talking about. Especially if I moved here. Especially if I moved here. I came here for one thing. One thing only. Be a star. To try to get myself out of a fucking being a loser, fucking North Bergen thief all my life. That's all I fucking know. That's all I know. I don't know about anything else. I didn't know about concerts. I didn't know about what the Mets did. I don't know what the LA Rams did. I didn't give a fuck. And some people listen to that song, You and I Go, You Will Have a Life. I didn't want a life. Because not having things is no life. What do you mean by that? Not having things is no life. Not having nothing, simple things is no life. When you want to go to fucking Wingstop, whatever the fuck they go to, so, right? But what's harder? What would you rather think about? $9 all day? Or at least when your roof collapses, you have the money, and your fucking family has to own the ruins for 6 months because your ruins collecting what this guy did. The roof collect. He was at a concert 3 weeks ago, and he bought tickets for a fucking Hall of Fame thing. You have a wife and a kid. It's over. It's over. Let it go. Let it go already. I can't give a fuck about a concert, especially once I look at that price tag. I got a chance of making $200 at the dojo, or spending $800 on one day. Look at this great show. Think about it. Two people I told from the dojo gigs, one person told me it was her birthday.
Especially later in the war, giving off
The other guy told me there's a game on tonight, but my favorite team is my age.
Dan is
If you got a favorite team, that's the one. Just give me a slogan. If you're still wearing hats and shirts, and then just go down to fucking water, and you can jump right off that thing with your hat or your Nick shirt on, or your book and I read it every year. And as I'm reading it, I'm thinking about how much of a loser I am every year and how I got the war, not the Sun Tzu one, but the other one, Peter Pressfield, talking procrastinate. It's all procrastination. I'll do that later. There ain't no later.
It feels like there is.
I'm 62. It went fast. I'm happy I didn't say later. I'm very happy at a lot of things I didn't say later.
You're not sad you didn't go to Comic-Con and dress up. They were all around. Every time I see him, I'm just like, I wish I could get Joey. Like, I need to get those cameras and glasses.
If I ever go to Comic-Con, you should do this country a favor. Let's get an M40 and shoot them all as they come out of the pressure point, because that's the people that can be shot as they come on the Comic-Con. With the suits on, and we went and got an autograph from my favorite Martian or something like that.
But even my favorite is like they were walking around the city in the outfits.
And that's to tell you how white New York City is. Weak.
Why? What happened in the 80s?
I wish 5 Puerto Rico came in and beat the fuck out of them to their uniform at this time. And that's the end of the uniform.
It's pretty hard to juxtapose.
And then those are the kids that go first. And a person today is shot in the ass and fucked in the ass. Comic-Con. We didn't go to Comic-Con. We went to get our dicks up and take Quaaludes. That was our Comic-Con. Okay, that was our Comic-Con. And I'm very proud of that. I'm very fucking proud of that. It's like for the last 5 fucking months, every month we have a weed sponsor on here, right? Like some fucking weed sponsor, okay? And it's always that Delta 9 and all that other creepy shit, you know? And I don't want them no more. I'll tell you why, because I don't want the clientele that's not doing the drugs that we do here. If you're not doing coke and heroin and fucking reefer, and you're doing like Delta 9s and smoking a vapor, go to somebody else's podcast. I don't want you more fucking energy anymore.
What would the ad read be for like cocaine? Like if you had to do an ad for cocaine.
Like if we lived in Vancouver, listen, you're sitting there with a finger up your ass, it's time to get out. Love your money. Tell your mother she sucks. Give her the fucking W what your early inheritance. It's not going to orgies, okay? Do something I didn't do. That's what I wish I would have done. Not more orgies. I never went to an orgy. I never saw 18 people get fucked at the same time. I never saw anything like that. That's the only thing I regret doing. But everything else, like you regret, not really. I did everything I wanted to do earlier. I went to the concerts I wanted to see. I saw concerts that will live in history forever. I don't need to go to these fucking concerts now to see these 80-year-olds dancing and wiggling and David Lee Roth with a big hole in his pocket. He's still got a dick with leather pants on at 72. Come on, man, let it go. The blue hair and at no point, just be yourself.
But don't, if you're going to an orgy, don't you have to like participate? Or are you going to be like,
No, I'm going to participate to get HIV. I'm going to get the whole thing for that. What's that thing with these retarded kids on the spectrum? I want to be on the disease spectrum. I have HIV, COVID, and herpes all mixed in one. You get a sore on your lip, a sore throat, it's fucking tremendous.
Shakalani love.
I want them all, you know what I'm saying?
that does sound like fun.
It does, it's fun. It's fun. I saw a guy hung over on TV and I forgot how much fun it was. When you're puking and you got a headache and you pop an aspirin.
You like that?
I haven't had one in 20 fucking years, but I wish I could have one. I wish I could just go. Like I'm 62, what's gonna happen now? Nothing. I'm gonna die. I can't breathe as it is. I can't breathe as it is. Any day now.
Stuff up your nose.
Any day I'm gonna check into the hospital. Any fucking day. Could be tomorrow morning. I'm gonna check and I can't breathe. When you feel this way, you're like, fuck it. Bust out the cigarettes. Bust out the cocaine. Bust out the syringes. I live with time. And that's when God is unfair because it doesn't say, now you got 5 years left. Now I'm really going to charge you. If a guy ever came down to me in the bush and said, you got 5 years left, you died on your birthday when you're 68, watch my smoke. Watch my smoke. Okay? Watch my smoke in 58. I'll go to the bank and take every penny I got out of that. You understand me? IRAs, and I don't give a fuck about it. retiring. I never thought about retiring anyway, Terry. I will break that fucking IRA, go to the city, get myself one of those hotels with Tony Soprano live, the good ones for as long as the money lasts. Like, Terry's going when it runs out. Only when it runs out. It's like 32 grand there. At 3,000 a night, I think I'm here for 2 weeks. But I'm not gonna make it anyway. Okay? My goal is to die in your fucking hotel. I want to do coke. I want that thing when they put the pastries up your ass. When they take ecstasy and heroin and mix it, they melt it and they bend over and you put it up your ass with a turkey baster and you get high for days. I'm doing it. Oh, I'm going to one of Eric's gay parties. I'm going to let a gay guy suck my dick with ice cubes. And there's now.
What if it's so good you don't want to die now? What if you find out
He plays a trick up. I mean, then I'm going to be pissed.
what trick? Oh my God!
I think everybody in this life would like to know what God is giving you 3 years left. If you ain't make up your mind how you're going to go, if you want to go surrounded by family and people playing violins and shit, he was a good man. He had a good heart. Or if you want to go fucking with some fat black chick sitting on your face, or a midget chick sucking your dick, some guy putting hot air into your ass, or a hot air balloon. Anything different I want to do, okay? If I know I got 3 years left.
But do you think you'd still have 3 years left?
I think I got 3 years left right now.
Oh, I know that, but that's
I just want to make it official. I want to go off the chain in front of my daughter if I'm not going to make it official.
That would be pretty fun. That'd be a fun way to go. That's the way to go. That's the way. Listen, how you're supposed to live your life. If everything works out the way it's supposed to, you put away like 800 grand. And you were 60, you had no kids, no grandchildren, no wife. What do you want to do now? You leave your favorite part of that. That's a fucking idiot anyway. He's never going to do that. What would you do? If I told you would die of cancer, you had a year left, you have 800,000 in the bank account, and you don't get playing all your credit cards are clean, that means you can use them. No one will suck your dick. Because they can't tag along with somebody once you're dead. Right, yeah. You're going to burn 800 grand. Well, they have kids, so you have to have nobody.
Yeah, nobody. How do you want to die in a boat?
Oh, boat would be fun.
Fuck that. You want to die in a plane crash. While you're doing coke with the pilot, and you get fucked to the front. And the pilot's got his back turned to the fucking skies. And she's a chick. And she's jumping up on top of you. You're like, the plane's in the head of the building. Who gives a fuck? Gives a fuck. And they hit the 9/11 building. And then again.
Yeah.
Think about all the things you do differently if you knew you had an expiration date. And how we live so fucking careful as pussies. And that includes me. I'm the biggest fucking pussy in the world. I'm the biggest pussy in the world because I got scared. You know, I don't think I'll do coke again because I made a promise. But I wouldn't mind doing a line of heroin.
Heroin does, like, that's the one that I think I'd like. Well, Molly, I want to try, but Molly, I want to try.
Again, what? Why play with little drugs when you can?
I think Molly's a little drug.
Molly's a little drug to play with H. That's God's love. That's God's love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if I want
God
to do
said,
it,
I got H. And you sit there like I saw a movie of a guy getting shot and caught by heroin. He was getting his dick sucked in the village. Louis Pinero, what's his name? Fucking, the guy that wrote Cuba and his teddy bear. There's a movie about him. And there's a scene where he's got a syringe in each arm. And some chick is sucking his dick. I'm like, man, that's the way to go. Like Jesus, like that. Like, get your dick sucked with two syringes in your arms. And a blowjob, that's what Jesus should have done. That's how I would have fucking got on this motherfucker.
a blowjob really does fix almost anything.
No, it makes everything a lot better. Yeah, think about it. Listen, you know, getting silly and not we don't live, you know, we live so cautiously, and I'm the whole guy because I had a daughter. I live a little cautiously because that's the only thing that saved me the last couple of years. Because now in my mind, even if I did time, how many times am I gonna really do? So if I'm gonna blast you, I'm gonna fucking blast you. It's not gonna be a break to the head. I'm gonna hit you with a table. And hopefully you will be glad you go. Squeezing the ball or something like that. Because if I go, I'm going to go.
I do. Do you have that? I've had, like, if everything goes to shit, I'm gonna kill, like, 3 people. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love it.
Just to go. Come in. Remember this? Yeah. This is what you get now. It's just so weird how if there was ever a time like that, saying when I was watching 60 Minutes last night, I've been watching 60 Minutes last night. I've been playing it new. Fucking bullshit. God had the Chinese. Now the Chinese is going to start acting on things to get to the big thing. And you're saying to yourself every day, you know, Chinese people, you know, whatever. Well, you have to say to yourself, this is the time to invade them. But they're taking over our country for farmland. And they're starting to buy a lot of farmland. So this to grow fucking, they have us confused. They were bringing slaves over here for a weed.
I heard about that. And then, well, yeah, and they have a bunch of shit. And then, am I wrong? Did I hear that Carter or whatever, whoever gave us that plane is opening the Air Force Base? Or is that like a fake? Yeah. Is that real? How the fuck, dude? And then, we were talking about stuff that doesn't matter. I haven't finished it yet, but have you seen that documentary on HBO Max about the Alabama prisons? That shit is fucking crazy. They just like guards kill people in there. And they like, there's stuff that does matter that people don't want to talk about.
No, but they rather talk about that part.
Right.
You know, that is just, I've been watching this for years. I'm going to be as honest as I can. I have a GED. No fucking whatever. Education is whatever I learned on the street. It was far as people talked about how I'm doing. Guys, it was all a joke. Until I did something with my life, and it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So, when I talk to people in this day and world, I feel bad for them. Because even I managed to do something, whether it doesn't matter to the world. I'm not talking about jokes or being funny. I did something else besides not being funny. Besides rob people, I wanted to do something else. That was cool for a while. It was really cool to rob people. Take their drugs, but then, you know, that was cool. But then, ever since I started getting, I can't say success, because there's no success. Since I started becoming a better, a productive member of society. What's a productive member of society? I pick with that. None of the cops aren't. I pick up litter. And you try to be as nice as you can to be. That's it. That's the bottom line. Productive member of society. And I think I've done that. I think I've achieved that. Not anything else. Okay, which gives you in this country guts. That means I don't deserve nothing. It's just supposed to go that and above. We're supposed to serve our country. We're supposed to do something. I did none of those fucking things. Right? But for me to be able to get up in the morning and dictate my day is bad for everybody else. Because if I could do it, what the fuck were you thinking? What the fuck were you thinking? I know you're yelling at me. Instead, I look at things. What the fuck were you thinking? What were you thinking about? I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. To me, I think there's a lot of, I think it's the trap of the day job. I think a lot of people don't, like you said, dictate your day. Most people, 90% of people in this country have no, 80% of their time is spoken for between work from 8 or 9 to 5. They have kids' activities, and then maybe Saturday you have to do errands, so maybe Sunday you get to watch. Like most people in this world, they can imagine. Like I have a life that I work Monday through Friday. Saturday I watch my daughter, and Sunday I went to the in-laws house. That was my life before comedy. Great life. If that's what you want to do. But now, you want to become, you feel like you're both. When you wake up at 8 in the morning, and then you have a problem. What's the first thing you say? Okay, because in a month I'm not going to be doing this. In 3 months I'm not going to be doing this. So even while you had a day job, you were still thinking about your future. I admire that girl very much that I was talking to you about. She's maybe 26. She cuts her hair. She personal trained. And she teaches Pilates. She cuts hair. And she wants to open up a gym and Pilates, stuff like that. But even at 26, she made a conscious decision that this is what I want to do. I can never do that. I was not that. Again, at 26, I was just getting out of prison for some stupid shit. But even that, and in the back of your mind, you're digging the trench. You're saying, you know what, I'm going to take this money and open up a taco place. I'm going to start with a cart. And then move into open up a restaurant. I'm not doing that. People are stuck in a day job. I get that. But again, the word is stuck. Well, how long does it take you to realize that you're stuck? You realize that how long does it take you? And I got to do something for it. This is not what I signed up for. When you look at the big picture of life, I'm not talking about me growing up in North Bergen. You made it if you're at the NWA, whatever the MUA, whatever the fuck. You know, like, you got a pension. You got 3 weeks vacation, and that's what they sold you. They never sold me because you lost that fucking Nobody ever sold me. That fucking, that was a world class. What I want. I made a revolutionary right there at that age. I just didn't know what it was. Nobody told me to follow, so we get caught up in our own little direction. Like, let's say you grew up with Terry Grub. You live with Terry Left, you know Terry Grub. Yeah. 2 hours out of Nashville. It's 4 o'clock. Guess what? Nobody gets out of there. Nobody gets out of there. What happened was that America started shitting on America and selling all their fucking women into fucking, you know what the Indians do? That area really felt that, like Buffalo, like Cleveland, like Cincinnati. Like, that was the fucking American, you know, Pittsburgh city industry. But then they took all that. So to be stuck in those towns right now is hard. And when there was that industry, is at least you had something. You didn't have a lot of education. Your parents didn't come from much, but you're making $20 an hour in this fucking industry. You can support a family, man. You can support a family. But you get stuck there now. I get it. I wish we got out of there with the Memphis, which is no fucking. And then from Memphis, you went down, you know, and you look at people who are great. And I was progressive, but you know, I was just going from one place to another to be a loser there. You're a loser in North Bergen. I like to be a loser in San Francisco for a few months and get chased by the cops there. I ran out of time there. Let me go to Seattle and be a loser. You know, some people go to places with commitment. With something, I had nothing. I was just going there because the cops wanted to pay it. And then once niggas are full on, okay, I went to the Menlo Park. There was nothing to do. I was sore. I'd already worked out. I go, you know what? I want to go to Menlo Park. See what they do. And I went to Menlo Park and I bought sneakers and I started talking to a black girl. She was cool as shit. She's like, she's like, I can't believe you're a comedian and shit. You've been in movies. I go, I worked for a lot of different and she goes, what are you talking about? I could never see you working a fool. I worked at football until I robbed the place. I was going to say, I told her the story. I go, I had this job. I couldn't find a job. And I got these credit cards. And I was using them. One day I applied at Foot Locker. And after I used $20,000 in credit cards, Foot Locker actually called me. And they go, do you want a job? I'm like, yeah, I'm just doing it part time. After like the first week, I sold like $10,000 in sneakers. They go, we'll keep you part time. You want commission. I said, then I thought, look, I was just going into the cell. The other guys got high. There was a black guy. There was a white guy named Rich. I always loved Rich. He was my dog. And I was in there 3 months, 4 months, and finally one day some Chinese lady comes in with a bunch of kids, like 8 kids, and she leaves a bank withdrawal envelope sticking out of the purse. And I look at it, and the kids are trying out thinking, she's at the other plate. And I just go, fuck it. And I take the envelope, put it in my car. And she put like $2,000 in sneakers for these 8 fucking Chinese kids. And all of a sudden, she can't find the money. I get the money in the shoebox in the back because I knew this was going to get ugly. So this bitch left and came back with like 10 cops. And they cornered us all. They asked us questions. Everybody said the same thing. The store was fucking packed. She came in here with a little motherfucker. She kept saying it was one of the staff members. Like, no, they weren't. But I took that motherfucker. Well, I just have this image of you in the referee at the front. And fucking, well, I'm talking to the cops. He just walked up.
As I said, in places where it really is you could at least say,
like, why is it on violence? I mean, after they all left,
all these places.
this guy came back. He was like, oh, give us that.
Former colonies,
So somebody's been using credit card in this one.
like I don't
Fit the description.
If you look at a place like
With a football. Look at that fucking credit card.
Ireland, wasn't
And the guy's like,
such a terror,
working on the sizes now.
and
You know anything about this? He was talking about, like, I don't know nothing. I'm going to fucking football department. All I know, the guy kept bugging me. Sure they do.
little slice of the world.
Next day, I'm back in this motherfucker came up and came. This time when I was detective, he's like, I want you to tell us there had no cameras back then, right? That's the only thing that's saying, they had no cameras. So they were like, you fit the description. You want to go line up? And I go, am I arrested? No. I'm like, no.
This isn't like a conspiracy.
Fucking voluntary legal, what the fuck is it? I know my fucking rules, okay?
Why would you say yes to that?
Yeah, and the guy came back the next day.
People think of diversity. So every
We're on the sizes.
should look like Jackson.
Just card, a lot of those suits. That fucking pants. You wearing the pants? I look like a fucking model. I was buying so much. Dog, that credit card would never cancel. I would throw it away and then need something. Go back 2 weeks later, take it out of the weeds and use it again. I'm like, oh my god, they still haven't canceled this thing. I was buying TVs, Scarface capes.
And you kept all that for yourself?
In my house, I looked like a fucking Puerto Rican. I had everything in that room. Everybody else in the living room. TV, I had a TV in there. Stereo, fucking everything. And then that motherfucker came to my house. He goes, hey man, when they get a warrant to search your house and all this, you will make this easier. You come up with it. I'm like, I don't know how many times I gotta tell you, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But now you start to get on my nerves. What the fuck on my mouth? They got off this balcony. I knew the next day it was going to be 8. I ran downstairs and told my girlfriend the cops are coming. I don't want to San Francisco. She goes, I'm coming with you. Oh my God. I go to San Francisco.
Why would he give you the heads up?
Because he's an idiot. He thought I was going to walk. He's an idiot. But here's what gets better. I leave for 6 months. And then I leave for a year. And I come back. And I'm driving one day on both ahead. And I didn't know that. You know those school signs that say 20 miles? I didn't see it. And they got pulled back up. They gave me a ticket. I had a warrant. Like some ticket. And they took me in, and the guy found weed on my side. It was great. We had a conversation. As I'm walking out, I saw the other cop. They looked at me again. I didn't say nothing. So fucking maybe.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know. 6 months later, I get in trouble for kidnapping that dude, and he's the head detective. He got promoted to detective, but he never remembered.
Some of the lessons.
That idiot never fucking remembered. I was sitting in court with him alone. When is this guy gonna turn around and go, this is the guy that was wanted for credit cards in 1985, but he never. And every time I see him, he goes, looks familiar.
No, I don't. You're like his great white whale. Like he fucking hated me.
Because, there was 2 cops that I turned myself in. One of them I got one. And then in time, I got along with the other guy. The other guy hated me so much. He even showed up at my disposition, my divorce.
For your wife or ex-wife?
For my wife, when she came on, she showed up over there and said I was agreeing this shit. And I just laid it there. I'm like, this guy couldn't arrest me if he wanted to. You know, like even because even the judge asked him, "What are you doing here?"
That's
And then the judge was my sentencing judge.
there's a lot of
He was now in civil court. So when he came in, and then my wife let go of shit, the judge was like, he's saying this crazy. He says, right, then he's saying his songs at dinner and shit. Now you come to here saying he's an animal that ain't gonna work for you, Mr. Police Officer. You can take your fucking rhetoric out of here. And he fucking was furious. So when we left in the court hall, I started saying shit to my wife. That's when that finally beat her. That the judge said to her, I'll give you, every time she doesn't give you the kid, she gets $1,000 coming down the court. She started crying. I walked out and I started going off. How's it feel now, motherfucker? Doesn't feel too good, fucking bitch. And then the boyfriend kept turning around and going, tell him, I used to put carrots in your ass. How you like it? Dog, it was prime North Burger. You don't want to piss us off at all, because our mouth goes somewhere you've never seen it. She was crying. I'm like, I fucking eat carrots. And even the cop turned around, he's like, don't walk that way, fuck you. You got no jurisdiction here. Shut the fuck up. You're in a parking lot, motherfucker. And I kept yelling, all those carrots. They got to the point where he walked away from me. I was saying so much shit that my husband was walking away from me. I don't know about these carrots.
You know, every time they see a carrot,
And then as we get closer, I go, she don't like the carrots. Nice to meet you, John. Cut the tip off so you can put them in your ass easy. He was hot. She was crying and she was like, press charges. And the cops said, there's nothing I can do. And I'm like, that's right. I ain't like me now. If I got Bella Puckles. Puckles at Judge's name, Bella Puckles. Judge Bella. There you go. God bless him. God fuck, he's dead and buried now. All right, motherfucker. That's my boy, Judge Bella.
do you think, because I was thinking about what you were talking about, like being stuck somewhere, like the fact that you could have been stuck as a criminal, well, like, do you think the fact that, like, you went through, like, failure, hardship, like, you're able to bounce back more than, like, someone who maybe had it, like, things were going well, but then the first time they hit failure, it's too much for them and they stop. Like, do you think because you went through all that shit, like, you were more used to it, or like, you're able to deal with it better?
With the failure?
Yeah.
When I got into comedy, I knew one thing. This is what, you know, I'd done so many things in my life. And I was a loser, except stealing. And I could sell a little bit. Sell hardware, I could sell on the phone. That's all I had done for myself. But I remember making myself a promise when I got to stand-up comedy. I don't know if it was a promise or something. And if I was going to do this, I was going to do it the right way. I wasn't going to rush, and I made that perfectly clear that I had nothing but time.
This
That I was a loser. I had no money, I had no car, I had no family, I had no apartment, I had no real estate, I had no bank account, I had a pager. That was in my pocket. I said to myself, what I need is to do this the right way. You know how many times I pulled up to the comedy store and there was 10 cases of Jack Daniels? With the liquor store we just dropped off. You know how much those cases are? A lot. Never brought it. That's something I would have done if I didn't make that decision. If I was going to do this correctly, I couldn't start doing comedy. I couldn't say, last time Joey was here, there was $20 missing. Last time Joey was here, the jewelry got robbed. Last time Joey was here, the cash register got robbed. I couldn't start that again. That was already my MO for years. I wasn't going to let that roll into comedy. If I wasn't good at comedy, that was one. I'm not good at comedy, but I wasn't going to let something that I found out years later. And the expression was, I'm not going to let my character, my shit character, ruin my destiny. So even though I'm a fucking degenerate junkie, I'm not going to let it get in the way of that. I'm going to shoot whatever the fuck I shoot. But I have nothing to do with that. I'm lying to you there. Because at times, the coke get cross my comedy career. But not to the amount you would have thought. Like I would have thought the only time ever that it really got my career was right before I quit. A year before I quit, the improv gave me a shot one night. I got to an argument with the guy that runs the improv. And the improv, you go shoot a shot, motherfucker. Give me a shot. So they gave me 2 line nights. Ontario. Wow.
I'm not like
With
there's
the
a lot of
fucking, Ontario's an hour 10. Where we live now.
what are these? I always end up right.
They gave me those 2 days. You fucking think that when I had a problem, and I was going to do radio.
A bunch of views that are very far away and a whole bunch that are very far away.
I drove
One of my far away
fucking
before this World War II
Ontario.
kind of pushed to
Check
try
it
to
out.
use
No, they never give me a They even gave me there were no problems.
and
Just do it right. Okay.
teachers.
I rolled 11 o'clock at night. We gotta get some power in me. I drove right back down. I drove an hour for 10 down, an hour 10 back. That put me back at 1 in the morning. And I got late. I started doing coke till 6 in the morning. And fucking, I missed radio. And I sold like 20 tickets that night. And they didn't want me for radio. They were like, fuck it, you're running on weekends. Wow, I was in the shit list, man. You know, and that's the shit I was doing at the end. And it wasn't like I was canceling shows because I was talking about none of that shit.
Did it take you a while to get back in with the improvs?
Yeah. A couple of years, I was that'd be 2006. I probably didn't work at improv until like 2010.
Damn. And that's like the big, everyone that's like that's like McDonald's or whatever.
But the guys did this whole clubs, you know, that's English, that's English work.
Just in California.
Just in California, you know, never mind used to all the other shit. And it took me like 3 or 4 years to get back to the grace.
But the old you would have had the crime, the coke, all of it mixed together. At least you know.
You never know what's gonna happen when he has a gig. I get into a fist fight, to make a hit, kids was getting robbed. It was one of those things, you know, I guess people, that's cute. A little while, like fucking clothes and that fucking guy robbed the case of beer and this, you know, Eric Roach. He was telling me a story, he was on the fair limits. At the time of that, I was at work all weekend. The guy told you the same thing, he was barely even checking. I didn't remember that story. And I told the guy, you know what I mean? We're gonna get this right. Yeah, he's like, yeah. I did my job. What do you do? Figure out the fuck out. I got this. I'm like, I have my money. So I don't know what you gotta do. No matter what you gotta call. I call my agent. My job right now, I'm doing that. Fuck how they do. This is not unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Pick my job fee for $13,000. This is unacceptable.
But back in how would it hold? Would you have taken it in the coke crime days? Like, would you have dealt with it from or you that's what's going on?
How do you think I became friends with Gabe? Those guys said about when I think almost try to manage. I'll say management. Valentine's Day, they called me about $500 pay. And I went up there with my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. I could take her out this motherfucker. I got a check for that. No, you don't. It was like fucking my Chaz told me, no, you can't leave. No, you don't have a check. You got cash. The guy's like, I don't know what to tell you. I know what I'm going to tell you. Get that fucking cash. Because I got coke on my mind. Okay. I'm not leaving there without my fucking cash. You don't pay for the phone. People look at me, what the fuck did you get? I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything. I loved one person's reaction to my life. I was wrong. Because I would say shit in front of Rosie. Rosie would shake his head. Motherfucker. I would go off in front of him. To the managers, anybody. What you were opening for? Oh, yeah. I would have to pay me. I'm money tonight.
Ari didn't pay you.
She did. She did.
And they're overpaying you. And he was just as poor as you were.
Oh, he got tons of money.
Oh, because he was commercials there?
Commercials and shit.
Oh, okay.
Commercials and shit. I'm like, lot to me.
the owners of
Yeah,
businesses.
and I need this.
Real thugs.
And now I would love to see them try to pay you with like Venmo or all that stuff. Like I constantly get paid.
And they
You know what was one of my favorites? A couple weeks ago, they did like a bucket they were passing around. The guy came and gave me 5 singles. I was like, why even? I don't want this now. Like, you folded it up 5 singles.
Speaking of bucket, I did one of those shows. And I wasn't going to make the cut. I just put my hand in the bucket. The guy goes, you like when I get paid? I know, I'll get you next time. He didn't know I'd take it $250. I was the fuck out of here. Wait for your bucket.
Oh, that's I hate it. The bucket. I did one in San Francisco that like they make you wait at the end of the show and like it's like you're paying. It's like you're like Santa at Christmas.
Doing that. There was a guy in San Diego that he likes.
And that kind of started happening.
He thinks he's a big producer. He used to run the show in San Diego. This is crazy. He used to run the show in San Diego. He brought more people to get busted. They would all live on donations and shit. They would always bother me. I'm going to get the news doing that. Something happened. He got on the show, filmed houses. He thought he was fucking, doing the yard. I was like, I need to do my show. And you come to an audition and I go to your show. And you fucking got it. Either you give me that or you don't.
An audition for a comedy show?
Like a fucking real estate show. Which the shows make flip houses.
I would love to see you flip a house.
No, I'm flipping a house. I'll steal the house. The house. I ain't flipping no fucking house.
You could do a show about like squatters. You could go like set someone up for a squatter.
I do a show. It's going to get my dick sucked with local joints. And I still be show doing lines up. How to make free base. I don't want to do nothing though, okay? Nothing.
How to make free base.
Don't even call me no more. I got auditions. I don't even get called back. And guess what? I didn't get fucked. Like, it's like, it's who I am now. So I'm sick of what I expect. The only thing I can depend on right now is us going and doing stand-up. I love it again. I fucking love it. That's awesome. I love getting into it. I love getting a bit.
Oh yeah.
Once you get a bit, you can build on that bit and take your time. Stand-up becomes a fucking paradise. I got a ton of shit lined up for next year. You fucking met up.
Nice, dude. And how long did it take? Because at the beginning, I don't think you ever hated it, but you didn't love it. I don't think.
After the pandemic, it was tough to love it. You know, I was burnt out, man. I was fucking burnt out, man. And I didn't know. Sometimes you never know what level you are. And I'm burnt out today. It's still some shit like now. I can't take chit-chatting. The way you call me, and I ain't never died. Somebody will talk about a second show. Let's just move the first show, but they're going to act. And then they have to find a fucking show. I can start. I don't want to hear it. I don't have time for this shit. I'm gonna die any day. I'm 65. I don't have time to go back and forth. Just fucking get the date. Get the fucking deal. And then we'll worry about the second show. We're gonna hold them off like they don't there ain't no second show. And then we pop the second show. So we take them off their fucking thing. In our world, there's no second show. Right? You follow me? It's a fucking process. It's a fucking mental game for them. If we can drop our hands off the back, then we got nothing. I drop your pants. I make it move. Got one show. Right? I take it from there. Get the numbers right on that one show. And then that's the second show. The numbers ain't right when we talking about. If it could be 4 years. So what we're gonna do in December, we can start. I don't know. I don't really fucking know. I'll tell you in December 10th when we leave. I'll tell you. I'll just sit here for an hour and discuss what if you break your leg. Now, we're not going to Florida. Now, we just wasted 2 hours. What we're going to do? There's a fun. Go get your dick sucked. That's fine. They're going to go on stage. That's your 2 hours, right? They're going to be what? Nothing. Right? Nothing. So, okay, quiet like that. It's weird. It's weird, right? Right now, come on.
And my head is like bleeding, and I'm ashamed to say
Most people can't live their life like that. That is one of the nice parts about doing your own thing and doing your thing.
all of the opportunities that I had until I,
It's easier said than done.
they're so obvious in retrospect, and you just sit there and think about, like, you're in that situation, like,
How do you keep things simple?
Like taking the noise out that doesn't
how
matter.
did I get here? Like, that's your back. Like, you're probably wondering, like,
Right.
situation, like, that's where I was.
It's a shitty way to
This
think.
doesn't have anything to do with, like, the overall point of
The
it.
Jews.
Less than that.
And it's like, and that's exactly.
Cleaned it
No,
all up.
you have to think this in your head all the time. This is what goes in your head all the time. All the
And when
fucking
my
time.
friend got home, I didn't tell
All
him
the time.
years after.
All the time. Ready? How is this putting money in my pocket? How is this conversation putting money in my pocket? How am I profiting from this? How is this making me
So
better?
yeah, like,
That's the thing that's going on. When somebody's telling me about something I need to hear, that's what's in my head. How is this making me better? How is this going to work out for me? How?
that's a
This conversation happening. Where is it going?
you know, you're making decisions on the fly.
Is it that guy that called you? Okay, we got it together now, man. I'm going to have to open the third video. I don't want to hear it. You couldn't get it together if I gave it to you. You couldn't get it together if I gave it to you.
I feel
You know, and that's the state of mind. How am I making fucking dough right now? How is this going to my fucking? How is this building on me? I'm at an age where I need a house, I need a car, I need clothes. What you're telling me doesn't do any of that shit. Doesn't do any of that shit. Nothing. And much more to that extreme. And it's a horrible way to live. But it'll get you to where you need to go quicker than your fucking stupid system. Because you're struggling with what you're doing. Your stupid system doesn't work. You want it to work? This is the crime. When you wake up in the morning, how does this affect what my mission is?
It's like what Jesus too, but
How does this affect my mission today? It doesn't. And talking about it doesn't.
so fast that they can
Nothing. You know what that talks about? Is how I'm going to make it happen today. When you wake up, there was a time, and how I know this, when you're addicted to drugs, when you're addicted to drugs, when you had your little problem for years, when you wake up in the morning, you don't know what did you do?
some sort of company.
Exactly. Did you think about pussy?
Socialism is a way to run a country.
Did you think about your mother or your grandmother?
Aspects of our country that we can't ignore.
Did you think about how you're going to eat?
One of them that I bring up all the time.
That's the school I
Fire,
Do you think
fire department is a totally
so?
socialist idea.
When you're addicted, why do
You
we
don't
act like
have
that?
to
We're addicted to success.
like if you work and build a house that's worth $1 million.
We don't wake up in the morning with our feet down and go, God,
They put out
thank you
fires.
for giving me a day.
You know, 4 years
Do I gotta stand in the fucking
we all agree. We got
to get to where I need to be in
we
my
all
life?
kind of agree. We should have
And it's a little exaggerated, you know, it's a little over-exaggerated.
our
What do
different
I need to do
the
today?
resources
Not tomorrow, not in a month. Today, that's gonna profit me mentally, physically, spiritually.
so we don't really
I don't care about that
treat
one.
that.
I really don't care about the Epstein list.
That should
You know, people got mad at me when I talk about vacations. Another thing.
everybody should say, yeah,
Everybody thinks they deserve a vacation. No, you don't deserve
very
God's.
socialized medicine.
You deserve
The idea
nothing
that you should go broke
in this life.
broke
We
your
learn
life is fucking
everything.
crazy.
You don't deserve dick. I don't want to hear about it. Oh, I'm stressed out. Oh, I'm stressed. Stress of those fucking. Don't get me started. You don't know what I'm about to say. That's stress.
Everybody better and great.
You fucking. What we make in our lives with stress.
I
It's excuses we give ourselves for bullshit.
driving a
But then
fucking
where's deserve? Is
I
it
want
like,
that guy to be a bad motherfucker who gets compensated for it, because that's the type
no
of
one
guy
deserves
who's
it.
Nothing.
That's the type of guy who works on the Lakers. That's the type of guy who wants. Like, oh, that's nice. He does the Cowboys. Whenever they show you. That's not. You want that guy. You want the guy with a nice watch. You want the guy who lives in a big house, because that guy is fucking dialed in and focused. You don't want a guy who doesn't feel compensated enough. You don't want a guy who feels like
oh, nobody's a thief. He's a thief.
you want a guy who feels
There's a
like
breakdown.
that's what you want. You want your mom getting brain cancer. You want a rock star surgeon.
She goes, I had to
So
let that
I
guy
think
lay on top
competition, I believe in merit.
every night for 10
Very, very
years.
important
He'll do
for
what he
our
wants.
society
I
as a
deserve
whole.
something when he
But I
dies.
also think we
Like
should
your
be much more
perspective, shit, right.
more
It's just so weird how
broke than we ever fucking need
I
to.
see more people
Or
losing
if you
it on
break
a
your back,
daily
you
basis.
have to fucking go bankrupt. That's kind
But
of
you
crazy.
cannot.
And
You know,
I
it's
think
like
labor
judgment.
unions
See, a
is
couple months
very
ago,
important.
we talked
It's
about
very
that
important
time in
to
Hollywood.
not
That time was very special in my life because nobody had
a
anything.
corporation that is entirely designed to make as much money as
It
possible.
was 6 or 7 guys
How much money it's
trying
worth.
to make it,
Because
and nobody had the
the
answer.
you are,
But it
the
was one of the
desperate
most
you are,
interesting
the
times
less
because we
likely
made
you
it.
are
But our whole life at that time, there was
right?
no
When
nothing
you
we
get
didn't talk
comfortable
about
and you want
sports
to
or girls or Epstein Island.
there, we
All
can
we
sit
talked
out.
about was stand-up.
That's what we can
It was like a mini
right?
fucking
And you
camp
have the ability to strike.
because everybody I
And the
dealt
writers
with
union
was in
in
that
Los
world.
Angeles,
I didn't mean
that's a
unless
fucking
they're
real
a drug
problem.
dealer or something.
That's a real problem.
Everybody
It
I
shuts
dealt with
everything
was
down.
in that
And
comedy world, right?
get
So
recognized.
it helped you. You were surrounded with, you know, Nick and I were talking about it. Like a bunch of girls.
There's
It's
also
not that she's a loser, or that she's an idiot, or that she's a fucking dickhead. It's that she's had shit people around her life, and she doesn't even know what's real. She doesn't even know what a good relationship is, what a good man is, and he wants nothing. Because she's surrounded herself with shit from time to time to time. This guy cheated on the girl. The guy before was 10 years younger than I got a break. A Muslim. You know, it's like you're not helping your life.
What is the thing you bring up a lot? What Einstein's there, like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over. Yeah.
Every day, everything got a different perspective. It's insanity. You know, I get up every morning and smoke pot. I don't think it's that insanity because I don't get the same result every day. You know, I do. I get the result to get the fuck out of the house. That's my result for smoking pot at 7 in the morning. It needs me, gets me out of the house at 8:30.
Well, let's play devil's advocate. Do you think, and I know, do you think your life would be any more productive, anything would be more positive if you cut weed out?
Yes and no.
What would be better?
I don't think I'd be productive.
Okay.
Because it keeps my powder dry. I'm at a level right now that smoking pot can get me out. Smoking pot uses like a fucking pacifier. Kids use a pacifier, right? That's all I do. That's all I've ever done. Is there a pacifier for me? Weed is the last thing left in my past. It's the last thing left in my past.
But it's like you're unique because there are some people who they have the same past doing a little bit of weed could like send them all the way back. Like, have you ever thought like, you know, smoking weed might send you back to doing coke, or it's just not how you act?
No, that's pussy shit. That's pussy shit. That's excuses. If I drink, I'll relapse. Then don't drink. Right? Then don't drink. I think I may listen to pot. I get pot that's 45%. And I will. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, crazy. You think I eat 5 grams? It's not worth it. So wild. Yeah, I took 3 of those things. Oh, and I ate 2 fucking taffies. And you know, I got with munchies. Not even munchies where my big told us you know, so for me, I can't breathe. And I won't quit smoking because it's the last thing I have in my path. It's the last thing I have as a reminder of my life. That's the last little piece. It just makes me feel smoking dope. Now, if I said I was going to Colombia and coming back with a kilo of coke, this was the last bullshit. Right? I'm trying to jump this week. And right now, not for much time. I smoke nothing really. It's making that different. And if I took a break, why would I take a break? Nothing.
But do you think you also not come to terms with, but like you're okay with, okay, I'm okay with whatever, like if it hurts my breathing, I'll accept that. Because someone could say, well, you know, if you're having trouble breathing, quit weed.
I had breathing problems without the weed. When I went to the hospital, I smoked weed for a month, I started problems. I'm like, what are we doing, right? What the fuck is this? This is something different. This is anxiety-based. There's a valve in my heart. There's something that's not. I have a system in my heart. You have to watch every year. You have to watch it. Watch it. Wow, 10 minutes. 15 minutes. And when I get to the end of the hall, it's upstairs. And I had to fucking go up the escalator, make the sign, and then downstairs. The first floor is small. I'm not going to say the wall. Because then people are going to arrest me. And then downstairs is just an RGB tile, shiny tile. But upstairs is carpeting. So there's people walking back and forth. And I just went over to the fucking gateway and got the people. Right there, I just took my dick out because it was going to triple. I'd already beat my pants a little bit. I just took my dick out and I could see it in the carpet a little around.
Isn't there glass on those things?
There's glass, but I didn't give a fuck. I had paid enough with the walk. I just walked a mile, 20 minutes after I saw a sign to pee. I'm about to bust, okay? I'm 62. My fucking thing is the size of a woman's fucking ear now. I gotta pee. And it turned, you know, like I used to tell you, like when I jerk off, I hold the top until I get to the backboard because I'm uncircumcised. And it blows up like one of those snakes, right? I hold the fucking thing and it blows up. That's how my dick was. I was holding it. And under the pants, and I could feel the top explode. I just took my dick out and just hit the glass. And I just started dripping, and I stood there, dog, and I'm like, these cameras are gonna catch me. And I let the top go out, like, just to relieve me. I put my pants back up, and then I had a stain this big on my pants. And I got to the car and sprayed Febreze on my fucking pants. It smelled like homemade piss. And I pissed right at the wall, and I kept walking like nothing happened. And I was like, bro, they would call me like the day. And I come to my house and go to the DS. We should talk to him. And I went to the skateboard right there. And I'm like, did he go to see if it smelled up there? No, I didn't go to that side of the wall. Rug smelled like my wife went to the wall. My daughter, I told her what to go get the mercy jacket. That's when she came back out, you know, the second floor. Yeah. She was like, that's why I took my dick out. She went, no, you didn't. I just took my dick out. I took it out. The top of the snake just went bah, and it hit the glass. And it was dripping down the glass. It was yellow. I don't think, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I got that bottle in the car for my surgery. And every time I pee in it, I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
I mean, every time you pee in it. How often are you peeing in the car?
Oh, there's times I gotta pee twice on it right now. Sometimes I show behind the car. But I'm the best at peeing on the car. Like, nobody can even see me. I'll take the phone out. Angels.
Yeah, but you're gonna get caught. You gotta stop that.
I know, but I just don't do it close to school. Because they'll get me as a sexual predator. So I don't piss close to schools at 20 yards or nothing. I piss them off. First of all, I open up both doors when I come. Okay?
That I think should be allowed. If you open up both doors,
I may believe I'm fixing the sunroof. And I'll pee, but sometimes I'll get on the thing where you step onto the car like you got there. So now there's like a little puddle there, pee in the thing.
Oh my god. I do that on the highway. I love doing that.
It's fucking terrible, which happened to me. And it gives me anxiety. I go all the way, I can't breathe. You guys see when I'm looking step to step, so I'm pee. This time I just take my dick out, make way for breathing the sun. You know, look at the car, I go, yeah, I got pee.
Have you ever thought about getting like the bags attached to you?
Oppressive factory environment where first of all everything's cold.
It's better than taking your dick out at the mall.
I don't give a fuck at this point. I need some publicity before they finish. I need to get some publicity before I go to Oceans.
That should be the name of your tour, like the peeing in public.
I told my wife, I take the water pills. Like, that's what it is. I have enough going for me. They give me these water pills in the morning. Oh, God. And if I go eat breakfast out, I can brush the entire afternoon. And I eat breakfast out, then I will eat the pills when I get back to my liver. Oh, that's not good. I got a box. I pee in boxing back and forth. I take my gloves off. So by the time then, touch your dick with glovey fucking hands. And they're mildewy, so I gotta wash my hands first. The whole time, I don't touch my dick with dirty hands. What happened? Never. I always wash my hands first. Before I put my hands in dirty towel in the car. got dirty evil cards in the back seat, and I touch my dick with the towel so my hands aren't dirty. I'll get a disease on my dick, and I might think that COVID. Maybe I gotta fucking shoot it on its own. It's got a little mask. It's gone, you know what I'm saying?
You can kind of make the thing into a mask if you want to. Dude, no one is prepared. Like, you have a hand towel for when you pee in your car.
I had no choice. If I'm with somebody, I want to pee on my hand. I got fucking cleaner in my car and antiseptic for your hand.
Oh, yeah.
I spray, I got Febreze. Sometimes I put on brand new pants that are brand new. It's like 10 in the morning and I pee all over them. God fucking damn it. I gotta go and wear another fucking pair of pants for Machi or whatever the fuck. Because I hate having pee fucking pants.
Has it ever happened on stage where you have to pee like that?
Oh, like a motherfucker.
Really?
And I hold it in. I'll call time out though. I'll pee right on the side of that stage. I don't give a fuck who's there if I gotta pee. That's just the way I live with the cat cleaner.
Oh my god. Let the cat clean up.
You pee too all the time. Go pee. What the fuck is wrong with you? Go pee. Bro, I sympathize now. People used to go, I gotta pee, hold it. No. That shit is fucking brutal, man. It's really brutal. I have to go to a urologist to do something. My prostate is good.
Yeah, the fact that it's coming out that fast. Like, I've started to see like a decline in the pee stream. A little bit.
What are you gonna fucking do? You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea.
It's been a good couple of weeks now. I feel good. I'm a little scared about my breathing. So I have an appointment next week, but I'm just gonna drive myself down. This week. Start the process over. This is gonna get bad from somewhere. It's gonna get bad out of here. From the football game. I couldn't no shit here. I could not breathe. I felt this is not good. I gotta walk those stairs at night.
Do the inhalers help at all? Not really.
Again, never fucking pacified. That's the name of my new book, Pacified. That's all this is. Just pacifying our ways. Fucking here. That's all I'm doing right now.
Yeah, you've been saying it for a little bit that your breathing's been off. That sucks.
Been off since like mid-August again. I was doing great for like 4 or 5 months. Great. I was rolling 2 or 3 times in jiu-jitsu. Now I can't do shit. I haven't been doing jiu-jitsu. I'll do private show, but I can't go to class. I don't want to tell people, but you gotta stop.
Do you have that problem doing stand-up breathing? Breathing during stand-up is a huge problem. If I couldn't breathe,
No, it's weird. We were stand-up, I've been so programmed to breathe. You just understand breathing. Stand-up. It's unconscious. If I'm around here, I have to worry about breathing. I have to think a lot. When I hit the bag, I have to hit with intention and breathing. When I do say it, it's just, nothing major. What do you got for shows this week? Anything good?
this week with you on Wednesday at the dojo, and then Friday and Saturday I'm at Roar in Springfield, Massachusetts, and Sunday I'm at Laugh Boston.
Good show.
Oh yeah. And then stuff in New York coming up, but that's this week.
This weekend, Wednesday we got dojo. The following Thursday we got the puppet show at the dojo. And then I think I take a week off on late middle of the year. And the following week I'm in Jim Graham on that Wednesday with the Stress Factory as well on the show. So I'm doing that just to keep warming up in front of audiences. November 5th is the Stress Factory. November 8th is DC. So if you're not doing anything, you're in the DC area, swing by. Tickets are available, they're cheap. If you're not doing anything in Jersey, November 5th, come on out. There's no school that week. No, that's right. I'm going to DC that week. Fucking the 8th is, wow. The 8th is my mother's 46th year week that,
It's like the day she passed.
November 8th. And that's the week that you don't have school.
Right.
It just falls on a Saturday this year. It's also election week that year, right? So it's election before it. We got nothing.
You'll be peeing all over Washington, D.C.
Oh, I can't.
Being at the Washington Memorial.
I can't. Fuck. Like I said, the casino's only 20 minutes from the DC. So my daughter and my wife are going to the lady who's in charge of that fucking place. Used to work with my wife. My wife called me the other day to see if she can get a room. She was come Wednesday. I want to see you anyway. Come Wednesday. I'll put she was sweet, all fucking deal. But she said that when the guy called her, he said he offers we got this shit. She goes, there were like 6 comics I wasn't gonna bring. She goes, when I saw your name, I brought you in. I don't give a fuck. If you saw a ticket, I just brought you here to bring your wife.
So perfect.
It was perfect. So
they'll come down?
yeah, they're coming down on Wednesday because they want to be alone. Right, on Wednesday, they got it for 2 days, but they want to go down just to DC shit.
And I say it all the time. It's so crazy to me. Like, Marcy looks at my Instagram stories now, and then she's like stealing your phone and going on Instagram. She's at the bar.
That was, you guys, I got a call from my wife. About 10:15, Friday night, she goes, Joey, the girls are outside playing softball in the dark. Under the lights, they don't want to come in.
Especially
Why did I come in?
the last couple of decades.
She goes, well, it's 10:30, but I'm just fun. I got what's going on? I'm playing. Right, I'm playing. I pulled up, all those girls under the lights, started to play them. They're playing. Playing catch on the lights, stimulating. Fucking Steve the Third or whatever. And so I pull up like, ladies, what the hell are you guys doing? And they're like, we're practicing Mr. Diaz. They were getting down, so I'm taking you out for a cocktail. Those girls ran in the house. I said, you got 10 minutes. After the blood washout, they came down looking like as I showed the followers. The Sex in the City. All of them had mascara on, and tight pants and shirts, and their hair was up. They were ready. Ladies, where you guys going? And the one little girl was like, we're going out for real. And I get there, and it was Friday, and it's half the fucking 9. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go in and put them at the bar. Let me go put them at the table, and then somebody will ask me, bro. A little Jew girl looked at me, she was like, I said, no table. Not the Russian Jew, the Jew girl. Because I said, no table. Well, Joey, I'm going to the bar and have a drink. I go, that was when my daughter got up, and the Mexicans pouring water for them. They got up, and walked up. The Mexicans like, where you guys go? They went to the bar, I ordered 2 cakes. They have the best chocolate cake there. They have the best chocolate decadence with like ice cream. Oh my god, it was like great.
The cakes light out of Shirley Temple.
I got the more sodas with cherries. And I stepped away and I let them alone. I watched them. And I said it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I think they were like that Fifi. They were taking the cherries, popping them in their mouths, and the chocolate. And then I got them in the car. And it was like fucking going to crash the car. Because they were all talking about different things all at the same time. It's like cocaine, you see it. You fucking see it with kids when you give them sugar. They go off the fucking deep end. I took them home. I'm like, man, such a good time with the Diaz. We're going again tomorrow night. I'm like, okay. And at the bar, my phone died. That's why, because she goes, leave it dead. Then leave your phone up. The phone out. We're going to ask her a question. Because mom said to bring her a dessert. I didn't know what dessert, right? That's what she was doing. What is it called? Underrated? Part 3,
Posting stories. She's funny on Instagram. She put up a story the other day. She's like, who wants to DoorDash me food?
Oh, yeah, she was a school. Oh, no, she was there first. So play the bass and she would bring fucking food. So they have sitting there, so I see the story. They go, you bitch. I told you to say, which I told you to put this up now. But I picked her up that big
That's I love it. And she's only gonna get crazy.
it's only going to get crazy.
When she starts driving,
I'm bothering lately to drive.
really? She doesn't want to do it.
Before I went there fucking 17, a teacher in that
And you're gonna just turn her into the Uber driver.
yeah, so she gets a slow one. Oh, I'm doing that. I'll save that. Right. So I'll just give her a bag me and fucking drop. Come off the phone. You're not going to teach her. A teacher in that. She sees a bigger vehicle knows.
would say, I think you're an educator.
That's it, man. It's just another fucking one week. This is my time of the year. Fucking 2 weeks after Halloween. It goes fast. And again, I'm not going to remind you motherfuckers. Probably another 10 Mondays before Halloween. That's it.
For Halloween,
For Christmas. Oh, yeah. For another 10 Mondays to Christmas. So you motherfuckers better get it together. It's going to be a hard year. Yeah, 10 Mondays. People already hold on to shit. I mean, think about it. They don't even talk about Halloween. Nobody even talks about Halloween.
the candy's already out. Yeah, but goddamn what I am. I love that fucking. Dude, they put it out in fucking July. That's the biggest scam.
CBS, a diabetic factory. CBS. Yeah. You love all. Well, that shit's so bad now. All the kids Oreos smoking now. God knows what's on. They don't even get soft in milk. They're like something's in it. But anyway, who gives a fuck about Oreos? I love you, motherfuckers. Have a good week. I love you guys. Thank you for being a part of our lives again. And that's it. Tip top of good, motherfuckers. See you next week. Same bat time. Same bat channel. What's happening, beautiful people? Uncle Joey here. We want to talk to you about something. Listen, I don't know if you know, but your gut has a massive impact on how you feel each and every day. It's the size of my gut. I know about these things. Myoma keeps things in tip-top shape so you can feel your best no matter what life throws in your way. Myoma's blended prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics help restore healthy microbiome. You're going to want to give Myoma a try and get things sorted down, man. Listen, I love it. I take 2 of these every day, and my stomach feels tip-top and cool. My blood tests even coming back better. So if your gut is full of the wrong bacteria, get Myoma and get it together. It's not just about being smooth and regular digestion. Your gut can mess with hormone levels, energy, weight management, and even lifestyle. So what I'm going to do is this. Take 15% off your Myoma order. To get started, just click the link in our show notes and press it code Joey. Joey. That's code Joey. Joey at Myoma.com. That's code Joey, 15% off when you click the link in our show notes. Thank you. You wake up in the morning and you feel a little ho-hum. Well, it's time to put some magic back in your breakfast with Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon makes high protein, zero sugar cereal and treats that you'll remember from your childhood. It's great if you're carb conscious and comes in nostalgic flavors like fruity, cocoa, and frosted. Me, I like the cocoa and the fruity. I love them. Every serving of their cereal has 13 grams of protein. You hear what I'm saying? 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and only 4 grams of net carb. No time for a bowl. Magic Spoon makes crunchy cereal treats that are delicious. They're packed with 12 grams of protein for an on-the-go option. Great in the morning and around workouts or as a midnight snack. Oh, I have it. Get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/church. Or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/church for $5 off. And enjoy it, Jack, because it's good.
That's one thing we're most happy about, is that it's kind of thrown a monkey wrench into that. People are curious. We're still saying, we're still interested in things. We're just easily distracted, and we're constantly being bombarded by information and data. But you don't have to opt into that. You can step out of that, and you can actually be interested in things, and it will enrich your perspective, which will help you as a human being. It'll help you navigate life. It'll help you navigate relationships and friendships and careers. The more you know, the better. The more you consider other people's perspectives, the better. The more you get a chance to listen to how an expert describes what they know about a specific thing, and what's fascinating about it, and how it engages them, and how it's enriching their lives. Like, that's good for everybody. That's good for everybody who listens. It's good for me to get to sit here and talk to these people. You know, it's good to be stimulated. It's good to be curious. It's good to expand your understanding of life, this life that we're all experiencing together. And I think that's where podcasts and your podcast is very different than mine, obviously, because yours is actually really planned out. It's almost like it should be in a different category than just a podcast. But that's where those things are really well, because they do engage people. They do get people that, as you said, might not have thought that was for them, and all of a sudden they're like, Jim Jones, how did you do this? Like, and then you get into your series on it. It's utterly fascinating. Like, I am particularly fascinated, like a lot of adults, because we all have this thing in the back of our head when we see something like the Jim Jones cult or Waco, and what would I do? Would I be one of those people? Would I be in that group? Would I be drinking Kool-Aid? Would I be with them? Like, how does a person get sucked into cutting the balls off and putting the purple Nikes on and waiting for the spaceship? How does that? What causes that? Wild country choosing that? Incredible.
My grandmother's my uncle's mom. She babysat me times Sheila and Mark, she was two sisters. She was hiding out. I didn't know this until after I saw Wild Country. I was like, that's just casually dropping that. They're like, oh yeah, you know about Sheila? And then, like, she used to stay in, when she was hiding out before she fled the country. She was like being hidden in my uncle's bedroom.
Oh my God. Yeah, so that's wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
But, to answer your question as far as how people get sucked into it, the thing is shines through again and again, no matter what we're talking about, whether it's any talent, is that very often people get sucked into it because, not because of like something evil in their heart, but because their virtues were high to it. Hitler is a good example. That is somebody who, say, whatever you want, he loved the German people, cared about the German people. But that love is very, it's like those, and it's the chemical that basically makes sure that a man or a mother doesn't eat her baby when she gets hungry. It's that, in us, it takes the form of like increasing trust, empathy, and so forth. But they've also done research and found that it also that it increases trust and all those things for your opinion. But because you're more protected of feeling that way, it actually increases the distance to anybody else. And so it's like, it makes you love your child more, it makes you hate like your father or something. In a lot of perspectives, it's really your virtues that you mention. If you think of, that story is something that's so part of the reason for that is because I just got obsessed with it. Part of it is that the U.S. authorities, hours and hours of recordings at the Jones site after the massacre. They're all available, and it's like sermons of his. It's them just having meetings in the middle of the night. It's just all kinds of different things. For like 3 or 4 months, I had that. At the time, I was working overseas. Defense. I was working by myself overseas, and so I'd be working 8 hours a day.
Oh my God.
I was dreaming of it, for real. But through that experience, what I found is and even because I was still sitting, even after I'm separate from it, it's all over, is I really sympathize. The same thing I sympathize with, like, and I get into this in the series too. The radical movements that emerged out of the civil rights movement, the Black Panthers, who, they went down a dark road. But when you put yourself in their shoes, you say what you want about, like, if Jim Jones, for people out there who don't know, they listen to the podcast, but, Jim Jones was in 1953 started his first church in the United. And it's a totally open, based church in Indianapolis. And his congregation is going and getting putting pressure on businesses to like start serving, to desegregate, start serving and stuff. This is a couple of years before Martin Luther King. He was like out front of this, right? And his wife would, they were the first white family to adopt a child, to walk down the street with their adopted child, and she would spit on him, call him, blah, blah, all these kind of things. I mean, he was getting death threats from Nazi parties, KKK, and he was still doing this. And if Jim Jones would have gotten hit by a bus in 1962, he would 100% be civil rights movement. Like, he really would. And you say, like, how did he do that? Think of somebody. One of the first things you notice, all you know about the Jonestown story, the first thing that stands out to you when you pick up a book is that 75% of the people who died were black. And, as soon as, like, I had been doing another project about the Great Migration of the Americans out of the South, and so I thought about it, it's like, man, these are all, like, first generation people in San Francisco in the Jonestown days, because, I mean, you didn't really have the big migration to the West Coast until the Second World War. So, you take just like as one example, there's one of the women who died, she was like 72 years old or something in 1970. So she was born, she was born in 1906 in Alabama. And she's black. So she goes through, lives the first 40 years of her life under Jim Crow in Alabama. And then her and her husband decide to get up the gumption to get on a train, get a car, whatever, go out to California. This is back when, the world was a lot bigger back then. Going off to California was a good buy. And so they were going, hey, go give it a try. And so they get out there, and her husband's working in Dallas, and they live in Dallas area today. So he dies at age 40. So she's there now in her little front porch house, inside house, living by herself in a neighborhood that's just completely falling apart and doing drugs. She gets harassed when she walks down the steps and all these kind of things. And so this is her life. It's like arguably, I would even say arguably, other than just that, maybe being told or something, her life is actually like, and Jim Crow getting to become she's safer. She lives, at least over there, she lived in a place that was good people. Viewers, she was a kid, she lived in one. She's completely alone. She has nobody. Her whole experience of her whole life as white American has been virtually unanimously at the very least, like, if not abusive or something, it's been condescending. This guy, Jim Jones. And so she goes down there, and what she finds is it was not their like their sense of like real equality between people, not just racial, but just across the board. That was not a game. They were 100%. And so she shows up to this place, and she's not treated like in a condescending sort of social justice way, where it's like, oh, let us help you, or anything like that. They're like family. These people were a family, and like the first thing to understand the Jonestown incident is that these people are like each other. And this woman comes in, with life experience, being around in Oakland, just everything else before that. And now she's like babysitting my white baby's kids, and they're calling her grandma, sitting on her lap, and she's not treated like she's a charity. She's treated like a family. And so you get those people who feel that that's like buying into it. And they end up, going down because of temporary times. like both red protesting. Starts to build up in the 60s, and you have like the campus war, these type of protest sites. And both of those are kind of revealing the energies being channeled into into outlets that are they're not antisocial. You know what I mean? Like you got Martin Luther King leading a movement of people, basically like it's an American civil rights movement. It's not a it's telling them we're not getting the rights we deserve as Americans. So, you guys like Malcolm X, think like we're massive diaspora, we're people like focusing on. So as long as Martin Luther King was alive, he had the moral ability to sort of fend off the emerging black elements and stuff. On the other side of the campus, left. And she left in like 1968, the year of the big riot at the Democratic Convention in Chicago. Eugene McCarthy, senator running for president, he was like the only person in the political spectrum who was available for the office of president. He wanted to end. And when you think about like this time, it's not like today we want to end whatever. It's like no, like this is a matter of life and death. These protesters, it's a matter of like, are they going to get 50% of the kills or something? Almost everybody. Even like the president, the secretary of defense, we have their like backroom dialogues and stuff. I knew it was a loss for these points to continue for that very national. You're going to have to go do this, maybe die, definitely kill. So this is important to people. It wasn't like just an ideological. And then the Democratic Party just completely openly, ridiculously, just steals nominations. Hubert Humphrey, he was put in. He didn't win a single primary. He wasn't even put into the process. It's just way. He was just installed. It was last election. They just decided. And so you had all these people who were, they had to claim regime, which was all these hippies, all these like, all these stuff, and letting the street flag flies. They all cut their hair, shaved, got really cut so they could go door to door to like morning middle class people and talk to them. In other words, they committed to like, they got with the program. They were like, okay, we're going to do it the right way. We're going to do it, through the right channels and institutions. Civil rights movement. The same year, you have McCarthy gets, robbed of the nomination. They try to protest it, and they get maybe shot. On the other side, obviously, Martin Luther King was killed. And what you saw afterwards, all that energy was previously channeled as productive, pro-social outlets, just scattered. Those things got delegitimized, and all of a sudden, it just goes in every direction. That's when, starting really in 1969, that's when everyone came about it. Whether most of the stuff was associated with the 60s, but then in the early 70s, you just see this massive proliferation of cults, violent radical movements. You had like an offshoot of Black Panthers, out of New York called the Black Liberation. There were tons of different dozens of cops across the country that were killed. You had just truly insane groups like the Symbionese Liberation. Like just led by a guy who was like legitimately mentally ill, had been in and out of institutions, and he went to like one of the bitter cleaners, like last holdout sort of enclaves and other groups found as husbands, radical feminists, because they got them involved. They're the ones that do and Jonestown, like, there's such an interesting story to tell. And this is really they're microcosm. They're idealistic. They're answer right reasons. They truly believe in what they're doing. Counter resistance, is why political resistance, social resistance, and that resistance stiffens to degrees. You've got people coming into the church who work for a Modesto TV station, telling them that they're coming to the church to fight this. drugs were not juice boxes. So Jim Jones he was basically the last 10 years amphetamines not the best in our perspective. And it's like that's the thing that's yeah. Somebody I had read about the effects because of the school effects of long-term yeah. So as I was getting up to the last episode, I asked one of my buddies, who's a police officer, so if he had any like ways to figure out getting some police related stuff, incidents where it was like usually like husband and father who would take his family hostage, and specifically things like that, amphetamines, that resulted in suicide. And he got big stories. He was supposed to got these things. And about half of them ended in murder suicide. The other half, some of them, the guy got shot by the cops, but about half of them murder suicide. And as I just read through this, maybe this is what happens. It's hard for people to accept when you're talking about something like Jim Jones, who was like great, but he loved this movie. Like he actually did. He would say, "Well, if you love him, that's not possible. How would you do that?" Those are people who've never been around. It's very good. You can have husbands who are absolutely awesome to their children and their wife, but they still love them. And it's weird, and like they have like an emotion, like a serious emotional crisis if they leave or something. And, like it's very common, and it's like that way. And actually, like having gone through that process of reading and understanding this way, it remains to be seen if I still think it's pretty much all over the time that I do 2 seasons, but I see a lot of it in David because Hitler was like, people think of him as like a politician missing a big part of what he was. Like if anything, he was more like a prophet. He saw himself as not a religious figure in the sense that like anything like that, but he had this like sacred mission to save these are not political questions. That's why he's just never compromised. Even when he sees the same like 1923 French Western Germany taking another industrial war. All the parties, right, all came together and opposed him. He stayed out of it. Portugal, his whole party stayed out of it because it's not very common, except compromises. And so, you read about, like, you read some of the actions. This is just like Jim Jones, where if his shtick works on you, it's probably read his diaries, like him describing meeting or going through. And it's like almost he loves truth. He was not homosexual. Like, he loved truly loved. And that's the effect he had on his followers across the board. If your stick didn't work, you were just, how could anybody follow this? This guy's crazy. He's like, how is this possible? Same thing with Jesus. And same thing with all cults. With all cults, if it doesn't work, you're revolted.
This is what's so fascinating about all cults. In the beginning, they seem great. Like the Jim Jones thing in the beginning, what a great idea. Bring everybody together, we're all family. It's complete equals. Let's all live together in harmony. That's Wild Wild Country too. In the beginning, it looks great. My friend Todd, we went on dinner after the Wild Wild Country came on. He goes to the beginning. I was like, I want to join. It seems like a way better way to live life.
Everybody was probably already buying his plane ticket to Oregon. Yeah.
It's just they all turn bad. And it all goes to like sex and drugs. And I don't understand it. It's so weird how they all sort of start off pretty fun.
Yep. And they always have opportunities. Oh, that is just across. I don't know how this works or what. Maybe it's just because the cult leader type, but he's just crazy. It's still like a male type, so he attracts to stable and good-looking young ladies or something. But it's like as I was going through reading about all these cults, all of them, there's not even every.
You have to have that, or you can't get the men to stay.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the cult out here. There's a cult before we bought Common Mothership on 6th Street, which was the old Ritz Theater. We were in contract with this called the One World place that was owned by the people that were running this cult called the Bodhi Tree that was the subject of the documentary Holy Hell. I didn't know about that until under contract. My friend Adam was like, "You seen the documentary?" I'm like, "Oh no, it's a fucking documentary." And then you watch the documentary, and that's what it was. He's a guy who's a gay porn star and a hypnotist who starts this cult. And he gets all these yoga people. He's teaching yoga classes. Gets all these yoga people to live together. In the beginning, it looks amazing. It looks like so much fun. Everyone's doing yoga. They're eating healthy food. They got a community together. They live together. They grow food. And then it almost goes sideways.
Talking about the Syrian liberation in '74, they was a huge firefight in South Central Los Angeles where they rolled up a house. It was just 500 cops, thousands of bullets flying, the house burned down, they all died inside. And I read this. I don't have like firsthand knowledge. I just heard it before, but that Nick John, his dad was an ROTP cop too, and he was like a major figure. He like won a medal come out for like doing things during the shooting.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. Yeah, Alaska. I didn't know that. Yeah, it's just so strange that the pattern of one person who becomes one charismatic figure who says right and gets a bunch of people to go with them. And in the beginning, he makes a very attractive environment. It does foster the sense of community and belonging. And then eventually, they'll go south. And when it's all over, it has to do with some sort of either amphetamine or something along those lines. And I mean,
Derailed. Read about
Welcome back to 10 Minutes of Shop. Thanks for tuning in as always. Enjoy the apps. I'm sorry. Man, you got me there. Oh no, but as always, join the Patreon. We reviewed Shane Gillis' stand-up, which was pretty Netflix, and we reviewed Andrew Schultz's stand-up, which was pretty awesome. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you get those pipes. What can I say? Yeah. Also, shows this Wednesday. I will be at Sister Market in Culver City at 8. I'm going to be August 3rd at the Ice House in Pasadena off Colorado Boulevard. Nice. With Jesus Boulevard shot. Great comic, never met him, but that's not why you're here. Definitely, you are here as always to watch 10 Minutes of Shop. So, play the chin clip, start the timer now. All right, this first clip is posted by my wife, the Tramp. It's called Papa is Literally Scott. Let's see. This thing, like, Theo moved to Nashville, and we both thought we could pull it off. He's like, I'll just zoom in, I'll fly back in the other week. And Patrick's like, fuck. He's like, this is a lot, man. Right? He's like, yeah, I'll never forget this. Theo gave me great advice. He's like, it's okay, man. We had such a good time. We built something so special. One of my best friends. It's all good, dude. It's ran its course. He's like, yeah, you're right, dude. He's like, go run it with Delia and Eric Griffin. It's all good, dude. I was like, you're right. It's all good.
Yeah, Ryan snapped at me. I was just twinkling and I picked up on what you said. Dude, we're friends. I'm doing this for appearances. I am the big boss now, and I have to seem like an ogre. But you know me, and you trust me, and we like each other. And we'll always be friends. And I would never take you for granted in a million years. And I miss you, man, and I love you. His words.
Virtually identical, but yeah, same thing. It's two different clips. Spitting image. Theo, then it goes to the clip of Theo being like, play, and then, something with hundreds of people. And then it's Chop on the golden hour with, like, Montez checked out and Dalia talking about maybe killing himself. Yeah, or unaliving himself. Do you think Michael Scott ever pissed in the sink, though? Probably not. Go ask Jade. Go ask Alice. Alright, this next one's called Brenda Implodes When Asked to Name 3 Things He's Grateful For, posted by All I Do Is Lie to You. Let's see what this is about.
I will wrap this up with a question I ask everybody at the end of the 8 inches. Yeah, wow.
It's just a stock line for him. I realize he just says it anytime. Here you go. 8 inches. It's the right answer at all times. You're right. Yeah.
If I wake up every day, I say out loud 3 things I'm grateful for. Oh, I just never do that. I'm frustrated at. What are 3 things you're grateful for right now? Good exercise. Yeah, I wish I could more back because
it's so easy for him. The city of Baltimore, baddies, Hatties, Kratom, Diet Coke, Helix mattresses, Tiger Thief, Camp People, Kratom. Yeah. There's so many things that you like, Papa. Group chats, jean jacket, hat, your truck, denim hat, the Ferrari, he's a Ferrari, he's Mexican. He knows the head of North America Ferrari. That's pretty cool. He's a freak. You should be grateful for audio. It's king. And also YouTube. Yeah. Fitting into cars when you're big, not being able to fit into cars when you're big. There's so many things. Yeah, the one thing I'm not grateful for is that that's the only takeaway. You know what I mean?
You could answer like my wife, my kids, my brother. Today's my brother's birthday. Hey, happy birthday. That's great. That's like the cookie cutter answer. You go. What are you grateful for? It's a fun level, so I don't say, hey, I'll take that. I'm always grateful for my family. That extends to my life.
That's so funny, man. Like, there's so many things. The 2 things that stick out with me with that. Hilarious to think it's a bad answer to say your family. Yeah, that you're not. That's not that he didn't say that. He said it's a cookie cutter. But that's like lame. I think it's fine to say your family. You probably should. Yeah. That's like one of those things I mess up. I would like not mention something like my family. But it's important to note also that you're like kind of a blue belt in podcast. That's true. He's a black belt, so he's on that different level. Yeah. That was the other thing I was going to say. He's like, the idea that you think that saying what you're grateful for is something where you'd be one of those grind set podcasts, like there's levels to this shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ask me what I'm grateful for, I'll just say, my wife, my kids, my parents. It's like, that's lame, right? I'm going to go in there and be like, I'm thinking on a different level, He should be grateful for his Ugg boots. The night vision goggles, his big dick. Sorry about that. Right? I mean, Brian ain't got no merch. Let's see what he's grateful for.
My daughter, that's easy though, right? Of course. But like, I want to see his health. Another easy one, though, but I'm happy we're not sick too. That's super. So these could be your answers. Sure.
I like how he's turning it on this guy like he's wrong. He's not wrong.
The guy seems nice. This is one of the more normal interviewers we've seen talking to Shab. Like, Shab is misplaced here. Yeah, I think. You go for weird things every day. I mean, health for sure every day. Yeah, and health is number when you're sick, you're like, oh, take it immediately. I have to. That's right. I mean, the sick man has one problem. It's worse. And I think I'm just grateful for opportunity. Like, I'm grateful that we live in a time right now where we can talk into these things and anybody around the world can be hearing us and watching us. Well, we'll see how this goes. If you start getting too long pals, we'll find out. Oh my God, this is nuts. He's sabotaging this interview. Yeah. And physically, he's like, I don't want to be here. You know what I mean? He's like, well, this fucking, people are making this like this is the worst podcast I've ever been on. It's like a bad therapy session.